Welcome back, friends, to a very special episode of the Adventure Starts Here podcast. The nominations for the Game Awards 2025 were announced, and we decided to do an entire episode discussing the nominations, snubs, our picks, and more. We tried our best to avoid spoilers for the games we discussed as much as possible, but naturally there will be some minor spoilers for each game discussed. Also, we decided not to discuss a few categories as we felt they were either redundant or uninteresting. All of that out of the way, enjoy the episode. We've all perused the different categories, done a little bit of discussion, and I think kind of as expected, E33, Expedition 33, it's doing a little sweep in the nominations, the most nominated game of all time, right?
I
I
think
think so.
by the end of it, it's going to be the most winningest game of all time. What is right now? I forgot. We looked
Baldur's
this
Gate
up.
3?
I don't think it's
Wasn't
Baldur's
it
Gate 3.
Last of Us 2, I believe?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think it is Last of Us 2.
Which I think says more about that year than the actual quality of that game. I haven't played it. It's probably fine, but I think that year was kind of weak, if I recall.
That game, I know, like Gamergate types really hated that game when it came out, but I feel like that game's kind of aged like wine. IMO, like I think that game did a lot of cool shit that honestly took a lot of balls to do. I
We're talking
appreciate that
about
game in hindsight.
Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will have endless respect for Naughty Dog to make as many brainless split fiction style games, like probably like 3 or 4 of them, because of what they did with Last of Us 2 and how like we have a vision and this is the vision that we're making, and fuck everybody who doesn't who like isn't going to get along with this. Like I really respect like the gusto that they took with that game.
Yeah, I sincerely think that game took like giant cojones to make the way that they did.
Yep.
But regardless, I do believe that is the most winningest game of all time.
Or at least will be. We don't know yet. Who knows? Maybe it only
Yeah.
wins Game of the Year and nothing else.
I mean, so the Golden Joysticks just happened like yesterday or 2 days ago, and they were nominated for 7 awards and they won 7 awards.
Do the Golden Joysticks typically line up pretty well with TGA? I honestly
The
don't know.
Golden Joysticks are completely fan voted.
Yeah.
Well, not completely. There's certain categories, like the accessibility categories and stuff like that, are like critics only. But most of the categories, including everything the E33 won, is fan only votes, and they released the percentages of the votes, and it wasn't close.
So I kind of skimmed over the results and I saw Silksong won Best PC Game Award. Was
Yep.
E33 just like not nominated?
Yeah,
there or
remember when we
something?
talked about this initially because it wasn't on any of
Oh,
those lists? It's because there's an
I
ultimate game of the year, and the games that qualify
yeah.
for that don't show up on the other ones, which I think is super cool because I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I'm upset that Expedition 33 is nominated for Best Indie Game and Best Debut Indie Game.
Yeah, okay. I forgot that that's what that award was. But yeah, I do think that it makes sense. I think the problem is it kind of fucks 4 other games to a degree, but it does make sense. It makes sense.
I think it kind of fucks other categories in the sense of like, if you're Sandfall Interactive and you make the best game of all time theoretically, then you can only get nominated for one category if you're gonna like take home Ultimate Game of the Year, which is great, I guess, but it sounds less prestigious than sweeping the Game Awards.
I mean, I'm thinking about it in the other direction where like Expedition 33 is like, I mean, spoiler alert, it's going to fucking monster fuck all of these awards, but there's 4 other games nominated, and if it went by the way that the Golden Joysticks work, then those 4 games are just like fucked out of winning in their like representative genre award or whatever because they're just gonna get dicked down by king shit.
I don't know about that. If we're talking specifically about the TGAs because of the jury system, I think that they probably want like forced diversity in the winners, so they might give those away to the other
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, and I do think that will be the case here because I mean that's how all of these awards shows work. It's the same thing with like the Oscars and stuff. Like for the lower prestige awards, they'll like just throw other like movies or games in this instance a bone.
I'm not sure about this year though, because I felt like that was the case for Baldur's Gate 3. But I think, I mean, we'll talk about it when the categories come up. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, do you guys feel like there were any big like snubs, anything that got ignored?
I think Dispatch kind of got a little owned. I think because people love that game, and it's really popular, and it's not really up for almost anything, which is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. And I think this is probably important to say right out of the gates is that honestly, I haven't played a shit ton of the games nominated. Like as a percentage, it's actually pretty low. And that's one of them, but that game does intrigue me quite a lot.
So
Just
the
like
funny thing,
even like without knowing anything about the game or the gameplay itself, just the way that they made the game and released the game, I think is pretty cool.
yeah, a couple things. The team that made that game was on the same team, or was really close to the guy who made Expedition 33. When he worked at Ubisoft, he worked with the people who made the Dispatch. Like that's like the same almost concept of like worked at Ubisoft, hated working at Ubisoft, went and made their own game. That's the same line for Expedition 33 and Dispatch.
Interesting.
Oh, that makes me want to RU Tracker it actually.
Yeah, it only got nominated for best debut indie game, and I think that's like I think that's a huge upset for me because I think it probably should have gotten narrative, potentially even art direction because the game is like super cool looking. Performance should have been there or something. Like they have a lot of heavy hitters, so I think that's almost certainly a snub.
When did that game
Yeah.
actually come out?
Like October or something?
Yeah, and it's been doing the episodic release. Like every week they would release 2 episodes.
Do you think that partly like killed the hype for it if they're doing it episodically?
I don't.
No, I think it did the opposite.
I think it was the opposite. Yeah, like I think it's interesting that how they did it, and I'm glad that it wasn't like months. I'm glad that it was only like every week. But the fact that it got nominated for anything means that they're not excluding it because of something like that, right? But the fact that it only got
Right.
nominated for best debut indie is kind of where it's like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I think when I think about that, it's like, so this is a take I generated today, but I think we more or less glazed 2025 as far as like the number of good games that came out. But in thinking about it today, I actually don't know how true that is. I think it's just a very, very top heavy year where like the top, I don't know, let's say 5 or 6 games are just absurdly fucking good. And that's the kind of shit that does tend to push games like Dispatch like out of the conversation a little bit.
I will say for me, it's kind of like a weird mental thing where like we started doing this podcast in the same year as all these good games come out, and so like one of my new all timers, Signalis, like I played that this year. It didn't come out this year, but it feels like it's part of 2025 because of that. It's like a weird mental thing that I'm going through.
Yeah, honestly, like I was looking at 2024 and 2023, and I think those are actually better than 25. The thing is with 25 is that you just had like some seriously like drop dead fucking incredible games that came out that were just better than a lot of shit that came out in years before. But in terms of like the raw number of games that came out that were like really top tier, 25 was kind of mid, honestly.
Like honestly, I think the Expedition 33 is just carrying a lot of weight for me personally, where like if Expedition 33 didn't come out this year, like yeah, there'd still be a couple other good games, Hades 2, Silk Song, a couple others I haven't really played, but like yeah, it looks like a far weaker year without Expedition 33, I think.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So the point that Tom's making is that there's a couple behemoths, but then the overall year is mid. Is that the point?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think that 2025, even like so Absalom. So basically just like a best independent game. You have Absalom, Ball X Pit, Blueprints, Peak isn't on there. Like Marvel Rivals as a multiplayer game that didn't really get nominated for anything. I think 2025 is like also just like it's a really good year and it's a really abundant year. Like I think a lot of things came out that might not even be game of the year, but are still like solidly good games.
I think there's also a lot of games that I think aren't necessarily for us. Like we all kind of hated Split Fiction, but a lot of people loved it. Night Rain, I think, is similar. A lot
Yeah.
of people like that.
I liked Night Rain. I thought Night Rain was good, but I mean, I think that's true, but and again, going back to what I said earlier, which is that like I have a very long list of games from this year that I didn't play that I still want to play. But like looking at 24, right? Like even the indie games from that year, again, some of these I haven't played, but like just critically, you've got like UFO 50, Animal Well, Balatro, what else is on here? Fucking Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I fucking hated that game, but can't deny it had good reviews. Uh like fucking Halls of Torment, just all of these like 1000X Resist. So many fucking good games from last year. I feel like on average last year I felt like was better just like critically. This year just had a bunch of outliers that were just insanely fucking good, but I feel like last year was a little more consistent. And 23, I feel like 23 might be one of the best years for games like of all time, like period.
I think that's this year.
I mean, outside of like the 4 games that are like god tier, like what else is there that we've played?
Abiotic Factor. I think that game got snubbed too.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
people
actually a
love that
game. That's actually a game I was gonna say felt like it got snubbed. It didn't get a single nomination. That game was
Yeah, which is
sweet.
crazy. People love that game.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just avoided that game literally because of the name. I don't know anything about it, I just don't like the name of the game.
It's a Half-Life 1 survival game, basically.
That sounds like I wouldn't like it anyway, but yeah, that's all I have to say about it. And that's kind of how I feel about like Game Awards in general. Like all these years, I feel pretty indifferent, like an outsider looking in, because like the games that I personally enjoy are so far removed from anything that would ever show up on a nominations that like I can't really
Yeah.
bring myself to like truly care. Like I know that there's like a lot of objectively amazing games this year, but I the last time I was actually genuinely invested in what game would actually win the award was like Baldur's Gate 3. And then before that, I could not even tell you what games I cared about for like a whole decade.
Yeah, I mean the whole awards thing is like kind of a who gives a fuck. It's more just fun to like reflect on the year itself in gaming, and I feel like a lot of the purpose and enjoyment I get from these award shows is just kind of looking at like the way the games that came out and like the cultural shifts around them and the trends, and like that shit's a lot more interesting than fucking Astrobot winning game of the year. I don't give a fuck about that. It's just like the actual cultural relevance of it is more interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's just funny that I'll only remember Astrobot as the only game for that year, basically because of like the circumstances of it winning.
I want to present a hypothetical to you guys. Partly what Thomas wrote in the thing, but what is your favorite game that you played this year? Not counting Clair Obscur, because I'm pretty sure that would probably be it for all of us potentially. Not even necessarily what's nominated for Game of the Year. What's just your favorite game that you played this year? Because I think, especially with this podcast, we all played a lot more games than other years. At least that's true for me, for sure.
When you say that you played this year, do you mean that you played this year or that came out this year?
That you played this year. That you played this year.
Oh, that's a little more confusing. I thought you meant that came out this year, and
No.
you're parroting a question I asked.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I gotta think. Because I had an answer locked and loaded for I think how I intended this question, which was what came out this year, but
I mean, you can give both too. Like my like I haven't given a 10 out of 10 in a while since Signalis, and I think I'm still pretty firm that that is one of the best games I've played in the last couple of years. Like I think it's up there with Baldur's Gate 3, like Elden Ring for me, which is pretty crazy considering the scale of that game by comparison. But as for games that came out this year, it would be a really tough call between Silksong and Blueprints, I think. I think that's a really tough call for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think of games I played this year, it's probably 1000X Resist, and of games that came out this year, I forget what I said, be Silksong. But Blueprints is like right nipping at its heels. It's like 1A, 1B sort of deal.
Yeah. For me, it's Clair Obscur is number 1, and then tied for number 2 is Blueprints and Ambidextro. And those
Oh,
all came out
Ambidextrous
this
is
year.
still that high for you, huh?
Oh yeah, Ambidextrous is fucking awesome. I can understand a lot of people not liking it just from a sense of like you can't, but I think that game is like so good.
Yeah, I guess for me, as like something that's like in actual like nomination contention, I think the best game I played this year was Silk Song. Even even though I didn't actually fully beat it, I could see the
Nice.
vision from beginning to end, and what I heard about the end sounded pretty dope. As for what like I personally enjoyed the most, I replayed Dragon's Dogma 2 this year, and I still think that game is actually pretty incredible
Oh
for what
yeah.
it tried to do, which is a lot. It's just a really ambitious game that does a lot of things that they're frustrating the players, but I like it's like a vision thing where they stuck to it, and it's like just a really unique experience that like I've never seen any other game ever do or even come close to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Do we know what the cutoff for nominations was when the game had to come out by?
That's a good question.
That's a good. I hmm. Because I know that stuff that releases in December doesn't count, right? Like they're just not even considered.
Yeah.
So they have to roll
November
into next year.
November 21st, literally today.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
Oh,
what?
that's funny.
Oh, I think another snub then is probably the Seance of Blake Manor for some indie stuff.
I've never even heard of that.
I don't know if it's a
Uh,
debut indie, but
I've got a dope one that I would have personally nominated for Indie Awards, which is fucking Queue Up.
oh yeah, Queue Up is another one for
True.
sure. Hard category
That
to
should be in
put it in anything.
multiplayer. I was really
Yeah,
surprised it wasn't a multiplayer.
I don't think
I
it
don't-
made enough of a splash.
Yeah, I don't think it
Yeah.
like did numbers, even though it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Queue Up was awesome.
I still pronounce it cup in my head.
Well, shit, you guys just want to get into these goddamned awards?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So for categories, first ones we're going to start with is most anticipated game debut. I can start. I honestly don't have a lot to say. I'm not a big fan of the GTA games personally. I don't know if that's a hot take. Like I played them when I was a kid and I had fun driving around, running over civilians with ragdoll physics, and that was a lot of fun. And I never really engaged with the game much more than that. But I'm super hyped for Witcher 4. I hope that game is sick. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't even know Witcher 4 was like slated to come out next year, but yeah, that's like a not close. I'm in the same boat. Like I don't give a shit about GTA. I'm not like 14 anymore.
Yeah. I actually replayed like a new remastered version of GTA 5 that they put out like earlier this year, I think, or maybe it was like late last year. Either way, I didn't get past the tutorial, which was weird because like I really did like the game the first time I played it, but yeah, just like you guys, I think Jordan as well probably just I don't even know if I'm excited at all about GTA 6 at all, outside the fact that it'll be like a zeitgeist changing game, I'm sure. And I still don't care. Witcher 4 is the one that I would like to win this, but realistically, it'll probably be GTA 6 anyway.
Yeah, GTA 6 is going to win. Let's be real.
Yeah. You guys
Um,
know what did get snubbed on this list though? Is
Slay the Spire
2.
2. Yeah, that's my actual most anticipated game next year.
So, just to clarify as well, Witcher 4 is not coming in 2026. CD Projekt Red, it's not said it's not going to release in fiscal 2026. So, it's probably
No.
2027. So, that's not, I don't know what this category is. It's basically just like, hey, is there a game that you know that's coming out? Then it's probably going to be on here. I think this is kind of just like AA inclusion nonsense category.
Who the
Uh,
fuck gives a fuck about 007 first? Like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, it's
Why
IO
are they
Interactive.
making that
is
game?
it
It's IO
some
Interactive. That's why.
Okay,
It's the
yeah.
Hitman people.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be like some developer making it, and
Yeah, that's
that-
why I say
that would
this
do
is
it.
just the AAA jerk off category.
You guys
Yeah,
aren't excited for Marvel's Wolverine?
I didn't even know that was coming out, but
same.
people are really excited for that game. That's the Marvel Spider-Man people that they're making a Wolverine game, and people are like hype. So even though I'm not hype, I can't say that people aren't hype.
I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know it existed until just now.
If he's
So,
voiced by Spike Spiegel like he is in Marvel Rivals, maybe I'll be hyped.
That'd be cool.
So we all in agreement then that GTA 6 is gonna win this fucking thing?
Yeah,
I
I think it's
think
gonna
so.
win. I think
Yeah.
if we're still doing the think you're going to win and want to win, I would pick Resident Evil Requiem because I think that's the most interesting of those 5 games. But yeah,
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I don't. It's kind of stupid now knowing that Witcher 4 is not coming out next year.
Yeah.
But that would be my want.
Next category we're going to do is Best Community Support. Nominations are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
So, does anybody have the category description up? So, I have it up. I'll read it just to kind of clarify what this even means. It says recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of ironic that like the last Baldur's Gate 3 patch came out like 6 to 8 months ago or some shit. And somehow that's still on here even though like they announced the game was reaching its like end of service towards the beginning of the year or the middle part of the year.
I believe this was the year with the really big patches, though. I think this was cross-platform support as well as all of the extra subclasses that they added.
I thought that was last year. I don't know. I can't keep the timeline straight. I do know that the last patch was pretty big though, but I just think it's funny the best community support could win for a game that they announced that they are ending their community support like halfway through the
That
year.
is funny.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of.
also
Go ahead, Ben.
it's also uniquely positioned. It's that it's the only game on this list that isn't a live service. It's just the only one. It's just a regular single. Well, I mean,
No
it
Man's
technically is
Sky.
multiplayer, but like, let's be real, it's a single player game.
I mean,
No Man's Sky is not live service.
yeah.
Oh, is that true?
I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily call Helldivers 2 a live service game either.
It's close.
Yeah, it's really close. It like edges right up on that
It's
definition.
much closer than the other two for sure. No Man's
Yeah,
Sky and
yeah,
Baldur's
yeah.
Gate just aren't.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. I guess I'm not familiar with No Man's Sky's game, even though I own it.
It's just think of they just release expansions like crazy. Sorry, Seth, go ahead.
Has No Man's Sky won any community support
Oh, for sure.
awards?
I remember
have-
them
It
giving
has to
speeches
have.
with. I remember speeches from them in previous years. I don't know when, but for sure they have.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I think these games can win like multiple years in a row. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Final Fantasy 14 won multiple years in a row. They're definitely not winning this year. Dawntrail made that community fall off a fucking cliff. I quit the game over it because I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird award though because with what you guys kind of said with Baldur's Gate 3, right? Does that mean is it like the best community support in 2025, or are we looking at their body of work as a whole and then deciding that who should get this award?
Yeah, this award's a bit nonsensical to me, to be honest.
I feel like to make it make sense, you have to restrict it to 2025.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Wait till you get to the category that says best ongoing game.
Yeah, what's the difference?
I think
don't know.
That's what you guys originally thought this was, maybe. Kinda.
Well, maybe we'll figure it out when we get there.
So is it
I feel
just
like
like-
something
No
like
idea.
an ongoing game is going to be like something that like specifically makes like expansions and big content patches and stuff, but community support could be stuff like what Baldur's Gate 3 did, where it's like adding modding tools and cross-platform and shit
Yeah.
like that, like features rather than content.
That makes sense because that category is this category minus Baldur's Gate 3 plus Marvel Rivals. It's the same thing. So.
I think this award specifically accounts for like social media presence as well, I believe.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Like, I feel like there's probably better games that have funnier social media shit, including like Path of Exile or something. So I have no idea.
I feel like
Yeah.
for me, if No Man's Sky hadn't won an award before, I would want No Man's Sky to win. But if it has, I don't really care. So I'm going to say I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win, and I think it probably will if they're basing it off of what I think they're basing it off of.
God.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
What I think is going to win is so up in the air. Because, like, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 it probably has the best shot. Because, like Ben said, Final Fantasy 14 was very polarizing this year. Fortnite's Fortnite. Helldivers 2 is extremely polarizing of a game. And No Man's Sky is No Man's Sky. So it's like, what the hell's going to win?
Yeah, this is the whole super indifference award for me. But I do
yeah.
I do stick with I think that Seth is right, where I guess I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win, and I think it will win.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll do that too.
I'll give you guys a little bit of context here. So the last 2 years, Baldur's Gate 3 has won this very award. and the 2 years prior to that, Final Fantasy 14 won them.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 will win, and I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win.
I'm just gonna pull some shit out of my ass and say, I'm just gonna say No Man's Sky is gonna win. I'm just gonna pull the trigger on that.
Hell yeah.
I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win.
Sick. All right, let's move on to best adaptation.
Wait, did you say what you want to win?
Yeah,
We're
I
all
think
the
Baldur's
same.
Gate 3 will win, and I wanted to win.
Yeah, we're all think want Baldur's Gate 3.
I got it. Sorry, I misheard. I didn't hear.
Yeah, best adaptation nominations are Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Death Watch, Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn.
This category is fucking hilarious. So before we discuss, has anyone sitting in this channel actually seen any of these?
Nope, 0 out of 5 for me.
I've seen
Jordan?
clips of Chicken Jockey of Minecraft movie.
How
on
about you,
YouTube.
Seth?
I wanted to watch Until Dawn, and I just keep forgetting that I wanted to watch it.
Okay, so I've watched 4 out of the 5. I watched the Minecraft movie. I watched Last of Us Season 2 until I couldn't anymore. I watched Until Dawn, and I watched the first few episodes of Devil May Cry. All of them are so bad. So fucking bad. Like, Last of Us Season 2 is honestly some of the worst television ever fucking made. A Minecraft movie, whatever, it's a meme, it's for children. Until Dawn has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the game, to the point to where I don't know why they called it Until Dawn. And then the Devil May Cry TV show, I only watched it because it pissed people off in the Devil May Cry community so bad I wanted to see what was up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like when this got nominated, I saw so many funny posts about people talking shit about how it got nominated because apparently it's terrible.
Yeah, it's dreadful. It's really dreadful. Like, they turned Dante into like a VTuber. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I want to watch
it's
it now.
it's something. It's something. So yeah, this is just the best of the worst, and I think on pure popularity alone, Minecraft movie is probably going to win.
Yeah, I feel the
Agreed.
same way because it's the only thing out of these everything that's listed here that I've heard like quote unquote good things about from other people. And
Hilariously though, the thing that I want to win is Until Dawn, because even though that movie had fuck all to do with the game, I actually did not hate it. I actually enjoyed my time with that movie, even though it's bad and has nothing to do with the game. It's not a terrible movie.
I feel like even barring popularity, Minecraft movie is just going to get the appeal based on fucking Jason Momoa and Jack Black.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's pretty slam dunky. I mean, I want the Minecraft movie to win because I think it'd be hilarious, and maybe they'll do like a chicken jockey skit, and that would be awesome. And I
Oh
think
my
it's,
god,
and
no!
I think it's gonna win just because I think it's. I didn't really hear anything bad about it besides people just not liking the kids' reactions to watching the movie, right?
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, it's a kids movie. It's not the worst kids movie on the planet. It's not K-pop Demon Hunters, which like actively rules,
yeah.
but it's not like god awful either. It's watchable.
And the only one I could see being like a sleeper win would be Splinter Cell because I literally didn't even know that existed before this category. It's
Yeah,
the only
me
one where
neither.
I was like, "What the hell is that?" So
It's
maybe.
I think it's another Netflix animated show, I think. Yeah, admittedly, I don't know anything about that other than I don't know why I would really want to watch a Splinter Cell adaptation,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Speaking of K-pop Demon Hunters, though, that game should have gotten a nomination because it's an adaptation of World of Warcraft.
Nice.
Ah, clever.
Like, unironically. They just straight up stole everything about Demon Hunters.
Well, that's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
adaptation. That's thievery.
Ah, true.
All right. Let's move on to the next one and get away from this fucking fecal matter.
Best
Well,
esports
I feel like
coach.
this is. Oh, I thought we were.
Oh
I'm
no.
kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding,
best
I'm kidding.
esports?
I'm kidding.
Oh god,
Because
Jesus.
of how bad the category is. It's comedy.
Yeah, but the category we're going into is similarly fecal, at least to me.
All right. Best strategy / sim game. Nominations are Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, Jurassic
Nailed
World
it.
Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, The Alters, 2 Point Museum. Oh boy.
Ben, would you like to
Um,
talk about your experience with the altars starting us off?
The Altars, I wouldn't really call it an experience. I just installed it back when I had Game Pass. I played it for like 40 minutes and then I uninstalled it. Like it's not like it's a horrible game. It's a whole lot of nothing to be
Milquetoast,
honest.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of cutscenes and then a lot of gameplay that isn't really gameplay. It's like I don't know, it's like collecting survival shit, which I guess just doesn't really click with me. And I just uninstalled the game pretty fucking quickly.
I would say that's an experience.
I can also speak to Civ 7. That game was a clusterfuck mess on launch. It's probably one of the worst UIs for any. You would call that AAA, right? Civ 7 is AAA.
oh yeah,
Oh, for
big,
sure.
big time.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the triplest of A.
I think like not even close. It's the worst UI of any AAA game I've ever played, which is like really disappointing in a game like that because you actively need a good UI. That being said, I kind of respect what they did with it because they made some ballsy fucking moves with that game. I think because my memory of Civ 5 to Civ 6 is that they were like, I think Thomas disagreed with me here. I might just be wrong, but my memory of Civ 5 to Civ 6 is that they were like pretty similar overall. Like your strategy is going to be similar. Civ 6 introduced like Faith as like a entirely alternate win con that was cool, but like generally it felt pretty similar. Civ 7, it's like it hardly even feels like a Civ game sometimes. Like it is very, very different. And my hope is just that it actually goes somewhere with the systems that they put in because I think it could have a good place in the future after updates like every other Civ game.
Yeah, I mean, like, hard disagree about 5 to 6. Like, the big new thing in 6 was districts. That was what gave Civ 6, like, its identity, was that you couldn't just, like, spam wonders the way that you could in every other Civ game before that because you had to deal with districts, which made it a little more interesting to try and, like, avoid going tall strategies. But regardless, Civ 7 fucking sucks, and I want Final Fantasy Tactics to win because that's the only good game in this category.
Yeah, for me, it's just by default it has to be Final Fantasy Tactics because it's the only game that I know is like a known quantity that is well liked, and it's also the only game that I'd play out of this list. And some of them I've never even heard of, like Tempest Rising or Two Point Museum. I don't even know what that shit is.
You don't know the
I-
2-point games, like 2-point Campus, 2-point Hospital?
I feel like I've seen those words, and then that's about it. Like I've seen them on the Steam store, and I've never. Those are like no click zones from me.
Yeah,
Those
that's how
games are old as
I.
hell.
That's
Sorry,
how
go
I
ahead, Tom.
feel about. That's how I feel about a game that has Jurassic World in the title. Like, I'm never playing that shit, no matter how good it is.
I played the first one and I was bored out of my mind. So
I actually did kind of want to play 2 Point Museum, because those games. I mean, they are what they are. They're pretty fun. They're not gonna like blow your mind, but they are pretty fun. I don't know anything about Tempest Rising though. What is that?
Looks like an RTS, and that's all I need to sign off.
yeah, I don't know anything about Tempest Rising.
Yeah, this looks like this gives me like Company of Heroes vibes. I'm good.
I definitely want Tactics to win, but think is going to win for this category is probably the biggest horse race of any of the categories because I have no idea.
I think Civ 7's gonna win on name recognition.
Yeah, that's what I think is
Yeah.
going to win. It's Civ 7 or the Altars, and I think between those two, I'd rather Civ 7 wins. Yeah, I'll say think Civ 7 want Tactics.
I don't think
Yeah, I
Altars.
mean, like Civ
What-
7
what'd
was.
What'd you guys say was gonna win?
For me,
I think
it
Civ
was-
7 will.
For me, I think Final Fantasy Tactics will win. Although I don't really feel strongly about it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
definitely
a
close.
who fucking knows sort of deal.
I will speak on the Altars though. I don't think that it's good enough or made a big enough a splash to get like a DEI win. I just don't think it's gonna win.
I agree with that.
Are you guys ready for best RPG?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Nominations for Best RPG are Avowed, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2. Ah, the first of many categories.
Oh my god, finally a category where I've played almost all of the games because I have no interest in the Year of Obsidian. But I have played the other 4.
Wait, you didn't play Avowed? You played Avowed?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I played all of them except Outer Worlds 2.
Oh, because Avowed is also Obsidian. Okay, I gotcha.
Oh,
So I was
no.
confused.
Is it? Oh yeah, you're
It
right, it is. Oh my
It is
god.
part of the year.
That's why I
of
was
I
confused. 'Cause I was like,
forgot.
oh yeah, they have 2.
For some reason, I always forget that Obsidian made Pillars of Eternity. I don't know why, but I do. I'm actually in the camp that I did not hate Avowed. I actually liked Avowed more than everybody in this channel for sure.
I think it was pretty good.
The problem
don't.
is the combat in that game just got really dry because you
Oh,
got
yeah.
a little bit too powerful, too quick, and it got just boring. I didn't have
I mean,
any of the
I,
performance issues that other people had, but yeah.
I really enjoyed Pillars of Eternity 2 from just like a not necessarily narrative, but just like the world building. That's when I started getting deep into like D&D and running my own campaign and stuff, and so it was very inspiring for me personally. And being able to jump back into I think you were in the Deadfire Archipelago in Avowed. I can't remember, or at least you were close to it, and just like being close to that world again was pretty fun for me personally.
Yeah, that's the best part of Avowed for sure.
But the question I want to ask you guys, because I'm going to assume that all of us are going to say Clair Obscur will win and also want it to win. But what actually makes Clair Obscur a good RPG? Like,
Well, real
let's
quick,
get
because
into
I
it.
So-
actually differ from that
I do
consensus
too,
a little
actually.
Holy
bit.
shit! What the fuck?
I do want Expedition 33 to win, but I do think that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will get the DEI win.
Yep, me too. I was going to say the same thing. I think they have to recognize KCD2 somewhere, and I think this is the category where they're going to do that. If they don't, it's not going to be surprising at all. I just think they will.
I mean, I
That's
agree
fair.
with Seth. I thinking want or Expedition 33.
But I think kind of what Thomas and Ben are saying is kind of the question I'm asking Jordan. Like, what do you think actually makes Clair Obscur a good RPG specifically?
There's a lot.
Outside of like stuff that would go into other categories, like the description is rich player customization and progression,
Sure.
and doesn't apply to this game, but massive multiplayer experiences. So like, what level of customization does E33
Yeah.
offer that the other games are doing not as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool how they kind of took like almost like a it's like Final Fantasy IX system, but kind of made it feel more like a Slay the Spire kind of like insanity system, and then like just the scaling that you can get in the game without the grinding required to get to that level of like power level, I think is really interesting. And I think the other games are kind of just more milk toast progression style, especially Monster Hunter. Like I do not like Monster Hunter progression
Yeah.
at all. It is so grindy and so incremental and doesn't feel great. But I think
If
Expedition 33
yeah,
has like nice level curves and like nice item systems and all that.
yeah. Speaking of Monster Hunter Wilds, like the progression is horrible. Like I don't even know if you guys played that one specifically, but and I think this is something that plagues all the Monster Hunter games. But I really hate having to grind for armor sets that become obsolete when you unlock the next tier of monsters and just keep replacing armor. And a lot of the new armors look worse visually than the old armors. It just makes me want to uninstall, which is what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I refunded
Yeah.
that game. I just don't like Monster Hunter games, period. They're just not my shit.
Yeah, Jordan, I think the thing you said about like the unique mechanics that each character has is also what makes me agree with you and think that Expedition 33 will win.
Yeah. I mean, the
So-
only thing that I think would compete with Expedition 33 as a role playing game isn't out yet, so it can't be on this list, and that's Path of Exile 2.
So here's why I think KCD2 is going to win. Because, first of all, if we take like the very literal definition of what an RPG is, right? A role playing game. Like the idea is that you are role playing some character or inside of some world. And I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 actually does a really cool job of that because, like, the whole thing with the Kingdom Come Deliverance games is that you're just playing a guy. Like you're just a dude and thrust into like extraordinary circumstances in like 14th century Eastern Europe or wherever the hell it is. And it's like by far and away gotta be the most like relatable RPG character ever made, because it's meant to be a certain like slice of earth at a certain point in time in a certain place. And it's just this like kind of like himbo guy who's just like caught in the middle of all of this like crazy shit going on. And there's like a lot of weird novel mechanics and a lot of weird novel like esoteric like lore behind everything, because it's all built upon like a foundation of real history, and they like go out of their way to try and make things feel historically accurate. And I think it's, in terms of being an actual RPG, it's very novel and it's very cool. And I think that that is why this game will probably edge Expedition 33 out in more of the DEI sense than its actually deserved sense.
I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I think it's going to look really weird if you have the best role playing game. Like if Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 beats it in best role playing game, but then doesn't beat it in game of the year, it's going to be like, what the hell? Like, that's inconsistent, I think.
I think that's fine because I think of it. I mean, this is a very contrived example, but when I compare like Baldur's Gate 3 to Wrath of the Righteous, I think Wrath of the Righteous is an infinitely better CRPG, but Baldur's Gate 3 is a better game.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing, right? Because like when you're talking about the best RPG, you're talking about the best RPG. You're not talking about the best music, the best narrative, the best plot, the best all the other stuff. You're just talking about the best RPG. And I think in terms of just being an actual role-playing game, KCD2 is on par, if not better than Expedition 33. It's all the other stuff that Expedition 33 is also nominated for,
True.
which is why it's like
Yeah,
the odds-on favorite.
I guess the way to think about it is like, I'm not considering the actual nominations here, but consider like KCD2 and E33 are nominated for 4 of the same categories, like narrative, art direction, game of the year, RPG, whatever. E33 could win the other 3 while KCD2 wins RPG, but E33 is still game of the year because it won 3 categories. That's like one way to think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say I think I'm very much like picking against the odds here. It's more just like a like, in my opinion, I feel like they have to recognize KCD2 somewhere, and I think this is just the logical place to do that.
I do think did KCD1 get any awards? Because I do think that it should get something for basically the reasons you said.
I don't know. The first game was
That
kind
was
of
so long ago.
Yeah, also the first game was not as good. It was kind of a shitty game.
Ah.
Shitty game, novel concept, kind of like the same sort of deal, just not nearly as good as the second game was.
Yeah, I don't think I would be mad if it won. I still think E33 will win, but I wouldn't be mad if it won, I think.
Yeah, like, again, I'm not going to be surprised or mad if E33 wins. Like, I put that down as like that's what I want to win. I just, yeah, like I said, I just think they have to throw a bone to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and this is just where I think they'll do that. What do you want to win, Ben? Like, what's your want?
Oh, well, Oh, I see. You might have missed it, but I did start off saying that I think Expedition 33 is the game I'd want to win.
Okay, I got you.
It's just that I agree with you with KCD too, that I think it will win.
Are you guys ready to move on to best ongoing?
Mm-hmm.
Nominations for best ongoing are Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. I'm actually kind of surprised how many categories 14 is being nominated for if it was controversial this year.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's not DEI win, but it's DEI nominations is why it's still on there. It's not going to win this award though. What I think will win is probably Marvel Rivals, and I guess what I'd want to win is also Marvel Rivals, even though I haven't really played it. But like, I've seen footage of people playing it, and it looks like a fun game. It's just not for me. But I've played some of the other games. I played Fortnite. I played Helldivers 2 for literally one match, and I uninstalled it. And I don't even think about No Man's Sky, even though it's apparently like really good. So I think for me, by default, I'd want Rivals to win, and I think it will win.
I agree with 100% of what you just said. No notes.
Yeah. The thing about Marvel Rivals is that their content pipeline is too insane for anyone to even try to match that. Like
Yup.
they already have more heroes in that game than Overwatch has in their game, and Overwatch is 9 years older than or 10 years older than that game, and it's because they release a hero a month, which is crazy for a game like that.
Marvel Rivals also completely free.
So is Overwatch 2.
Maybe
Overwatch
I
1
should
wasn't, though.
uninstall it, or maybe I should reinstall it rather, and then uninstall it.
I think Fortnite would have a chance though, because I mean Fortnite's collaborations and everything, like they did The Simpsons this year, and they did like a bunch of things that people were like super hyped for. So I think like Fortnite has a chance of beating it, honestly. But I still think Marvel Rivals is huge, and I think that it's tough to not recognize like that those guys are basically killing themselves to make the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a hero shooter as big as Rivals since like I mean it was
Overwatch.
since Overwatch, right? But like not even Overwatch the game, more like on launch Overwatch because that game became kind of a shit show. But Marvel Rivals, it feels like maybe because of what you're saying with their content pipeline, it's actually like maintaining player base and like good opinions about the game. I feel like.
Yeah.
So we just across the board Marvel Rivals for everything then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that game's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I Fortnite, if anything but it or Fortnite wins, I would call that like a huge upset, I think.
Helldivers 2 won last year, and No Man's Sky won in like 2020 or something. So.
Yeah. I don't think
So, yeah.
Helldivers has done anything significant over the past year. At least I haven't heard anything compared to like the year prior, because they definitely were doing great the first year.
Yeah. I mean, they had like some really cool novel shit going on. I just haven't. And granted, I'm like very separated from that community from when the game came out and I was playing it. But yeah, I haven't really heard it making too much of a splash.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys ready for best independent game?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right. Best indie game nominations are Absolem, Ball X Pit, Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song.
This
All right,
is
Sesh,
the
use your
most
time.
stacked category
Yeah.
of the entire
Oh,
awards.
yeah.
By far.
It is
By
a
far, and it's not
crazy.
close.
If this was just the game of the year category, I would not be upset at all.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, even Absalom, which I haven't played but looks super cool, and people have said it's really, really good. So even the bottom end of this category is still insanely strong.
Yeah, speaking on Absolem, I bought it recently. I've been playing it actually quite a bit. I actually like it a lot. It's definitely not going to win this award. It's got probably the most unlikable characters I've ever seen in a video game, to the point where I literally like root for the bad guys to win. But the game loop is actually pretty fucking fun. Speaking to this award, it's what I would want to win because I've enjoyed the most.
Nice.
But I think that Silk Song will get the DEI win over Expedition 33.
I'm actually in kind of a similar spot. It's like I don't know. It's so strange where like there was just so much hype for Silk Song, but relatively little for Expedition 33. Like I think for a lot of people, it just kind of came out and suddenly it was the best game ever made. But Silk Song had so much going into it, so the hype for it was kind of like dispersed over a long period of time. But I feel like I'm pretty sure Expedition 33 is going to win. I don't want it to win. I'm pretty sure it will. But I think Silk Song really does deserve this.
Yeah, this as a category in and of itself is also weird, right? Because like I like the way the Golden Joysticks does it a lot, which is the best. It splits it into two, which is like best indie game and then like best indie self-published game. Because I think that there is kind of like weird lines for where does indie start and end, and I think that kind of helps clear it up a little bit at least. Because really, for this category, how they're doing it, and I mean, their category description says for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. And Ball X Pit is Devolver Digital, which is an indie publisher, but they're a pretty big indie publisher. Blueprints is Raw Fury, which is the same thing, indie publisher, but they're a pretty solid, pretty big indie publisher. Kepler Interactive is the exact same thing, right? Like they're not a huge publisher, but they're a big indie publisher. But then Hades 2 and Silksong are self-published, which is like way harder
that's
and
fair.
way more respectable for what this category kind of is. So I think that's why it kind of sucks to kind of blend the lines of like, where does this go? So it's tough to say think and want.
And I think you're 10,000% correct about how you're framing it in terms of like the publisher. I also think like just viscerally for me, if I just showed someone Expedition 33 and made them play through it, I I wouldn't be surprised if they came away thinking it was just a AAA game, which
Yeah.
for better or worse for it being an indie game, whatever, but it doesn't feel like an indie game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
without a doubt. The other ones definitely all feel like an indie game. Like, I don't know about Ad Solemn. I can't speak to it, but just looking at it, it doesn't.
It
I
feels
don't
like
think,
an indie game.
yeah, it doesn't look like that you're going to be like, holy shit, Nintendo made this, you know? So there's definitely that to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird category. Like, I think Expedition 33 is going to win just because, but I think I want Blueprints to win just because I think it's the only game that doesn't have a chance at another category. And I think that game's great.
Yeah. What were yours, Thomas? Did you say?
No, I think Expedition 33 is going to win this because I think the Silk Song DEI award is going to be best action adventure game.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't look ahead, but now, yeah, I think you're right. I'm gonna stick with what I said because ignorance will just be recorded. But I do agree with you after you said that.
But yeah, I definitely want Silk Song to win because when I think like indie studio, I think three Australian guys chained to their desk for 8 years working on this like labor of love until they had to delay it 18,000 times and it eventually came out. Like that's indie to me. That's not like ex Ubisoft people with a shitload of seed money dumping it into what is obviously an all-time great game, but really stretches the definition of how I think of an indie game.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What'd you say you want to win, Seth?
I wanted Silk Song to win, I believe.
And also I do wish, like, if I could say two things, it would be Silk Song and Blueprints because yeah, Blueprints is also a fucking incredible game that deserves more recognition than it's going to get.
I kind of have this inclination that Blueprints is going to get kind of snubbed, unfortunately.
It's almost not even a snub though. Like, it's just a tough year, man.
Yeah, it's just
There should be
it's up against juggernauts.
a meta discussion. Is there should be a fucking best puzzle game because there's more puzzle games than there are racing games and fighting games that come out. But like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why there isn't because big companies don't make it, so there's not a lot of money in
Yep.
that category. But
Yep.
it's silly. It's such a staple video
I
game
don't know
category.
if you have like if you have community support and like fucking best strategy sim game, yeah, you should have best puzzle game. IMO.
Well, I mean, so the problem is those two things have money behind them, and puzzle wouldn't. That's why it doesn't.
I know. It just makes me upset.
Yeah, I know. I'm upset too. I'm really pissed. I think there'd be multiple puzzle categories for God's sakes, because there's so many puzzle games that come out.
Imagine a pass where La Mulana shows up in a category.
Yeah, best.
I'm just gonna
Japanese
say
obscure game.
I'm just gonna say really quick. Blueprints has more Steam reviews than Silent Hill F. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, Blueprints was huge.
Interesting. It was really big, and it was on Game Pass, so the numbers are kind of
I played it on Game Pass.
Yeah,
It's actually crazy. Like, I think my 3 favorite games this year were all on Game Pass. And yet I no longer have a Game Pass subscription. Rest in piss.
Yeah, that's true for me, although I think I did buy Silk Song on Steam.
All right. Best fighting game? You guys ready?
This
Yup.
award should just be demoted. It's too niche now. Like, it should be there with best bullet hell, which doesn't exist. Because, like, that's just how these games are. Like, just look at this fucking list. I'm sorry, I'll let you continue with naming them, but they're all shit.
Yeah, it isn't great. 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I want to throw up. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Virtua Fighter 5, R.E.V.O. World Stage. I hate this.
3 fucking re-releases.
Well,
Ridiculous.
it's
What
2
the
re-releases and
fuck?
an expansion. The Virtua Fighter 5 is like Super Street Fighter 4 AE 2012 Arcade
What
Edition shit.
isn't? I thought VF5 was like ancient.
Yeah, but it's like it's an expansion for it. It's like the balance changes and shit is what that is.
So it's a scam.
That game's 20 years old, and they released okay, whatever.
It's the
Cool.
newest Virtua Fighter.
I'll say that's
yes.
cool.
And it's because I think there's Saudi Arabia money behind
Okay,
the Virtua Fighter 6, and then that guy who funded it also likes VF5, so he wanted an update for VF5.
So here's my take on this. 2XKO was really close to being a cool game. They just needed to add a 2v2 ladder, and I think that game would have been a lot more enjoyable. But I actually liked Fatal Fury. I thought the Fatal Fury game was fucking sweet, and I actually really wanted to like play that game. But as with most fighting games, I figured I'm gonna pay like $50 for a game that's gonna be DOA basically in like a week or two. But I actually thought that game was like really enjoyable. Like I liked it more than Guilty Gear Strive, and I think it was like stealing a lot of ideas from Guilty Gear games. So I actually really liked Fatal Fury, but 2XKO is gonna win.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think 2XK was going to win, and I think by default I wanted to win because it's the only thing that's like a new game that's. I mean, this is just unfair to Fatal Fury because I didn't play it. The only thing I know about is that like Ronaldo is in it, and that's where my knowledge like ends.
I want 2XKO to win, and I think it probably will, but I know nothing about the other games. I'm only basing my desire for it to win off of the fact that, number one, I think it looks cool. I think the art style is really good. I think it's been cool since they announced it. Riot's always been good at that, or at least in the last like 10 years, maybe not for the first like 5 years of League of Legends release. Uh, I think what you guys said with like some of the systems are kind of cool, how it's like a co-op fighting game or whatever. I think that's cool. The only miss for it for me is that it doesn't have the character Riven in it, because in League of Legends that character is a literal fighting game champion, and it's lame that she's not in 2XKO.
Yeah, this category is a weird one, and it's kind of like what Ben was starting to say. Like, 2 of these are collections of old games. One of the collections runs like dog shit on consoles, which is the Mortal Kombat Legacy one. There's like 10 frames of input delay on that offline on all the games on the PS4, PS5 version. It's
What?
crazy bad.
Why?
It's crazy bad. And on PC, it's like less than 1 frame. On PC, it's like the best possible input lag. And then on consoles, it's like in the menus, you want to throw up. It's crazy.
It doesn't even make sense. Like,
Yeah,
it's literally worse than emulating it.
yeah. I don't know how they messed it up so bad. Apparently, they're working on fixing it, but I mean, at the time of this, it's not. The console releases are basically unplayable. So, but like
Yeah.
2 collections, like why are they in here? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Why is
and,
a
like-
patch for a game in here? That's crazy. There's another game that came out, which is Hunter x Hunter and then Impact, which might have been dog shit, right? Like that game was pretty much DOA and no one played it. It was DOA and then super DOA a week later, but like it's still a game that came out versus a collection of games that came out. 2XKO isn't even out yet. It's early access, but they had no one to put into this category, so it
Yeah.
just gets put in. So the
Yeah,
only
this-
real
this-
vote in this entire thing is Fatal Fury. Everything else is a fraud.
I agree. 2XKO is on here probably as paid for by Riot, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
True.
But it's not ready. Like that game could change dramatically between now and when they call that game 1.0. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
what I think
this
is
is
crazy.
this is advertising for it. So.
Sure.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying Riot handed Jeff Knightley or whatever his name is like a few bucks and was like, "Hey, nominate this shit. All these other games are ass anyway."
Yeah, so it's want Fatal Fury because again, it's the only option, and think is 2XKO.
Yeah, and the fucking Capcom Fighting Collection 2, like I looked at that list of games and you might as well just fucking rename that shit CVS 2.
I think it's a cool collection because it's like I like it when they go towards more of the niche stuff. I think the worst part of the collection is they put the worst version of Alpha 3 on it, but other than that, I think it's a cool collection.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I think just the whole concept is kind of
I agree.
insulting.
It's insulting to be on this list as a thing. I think it's cool.
Yeah. All right. This is. Oh yeah. All right. Next one.
Yeah. Next category is Best Action Adventure. Nominations are Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghosts of Yote, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction?
This is a tough one.
Tough call, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Really?
this is where they give Silksong its recognition, but that could also be true of Ghosts of Yotei and Split Fiction. But I think this is where Silksong is going to come out on top.
I think it's Silksong by a landslide. I don't even think it's close with the other ones.
People fucking love Ghosts of Yotei and Split Fiction, dude.
And Indiana
they?
Jones.
I know people like Split Fiction. I don't know how
People love
really feel
Split
about
Fiction.
Yotei, but
Yeah,
I know that people really love Silksong.
If you
Yeah.
go into like normie zones, there's a lot of people bitching that Ghosts of Yotei didn't get nominated for Game of the Year.
By normies,
There's
you
also
mean
people
Twitter
upset about
or,
Split
like-
Fiction for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing to think about too, is that with the community voting, the normies are going to split the vote on Split Fiction and Ghosts of Yotei.
It's only 10% though. It's such a joke percentage
Yeah, it's
that
pretty pointless. It's like
It's-
fucking Eurovision.
Yeah, I think just going off of like critics or whatever being like the primary weight here, I think it will be Silksong.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with Ben. Like the only reason it's not Silk, if it's a meritocracy, it's Silksong almost 100 times out of 100. The only reason why it wouldn't be is again because Silksong is going to win one of two of the other awards, and then we got to give recognition to Kojima, so we're going to give it to Death Stranding 2 kind of thing. Like it should be Silksong. Silksong might even win Game of the Year, so it's definitely win Best Action Adventure. Not to say that the other games are bad, except Split Fiction and Indiana Jones, but Split Fiction or Silksong is just like that much better.
I do see what you guys are saying about it being close in like a collusion-y sort of way, where like both Sony and Kojima
Yeah.
are slipping the money under the table to Jeff Keighley, so it could be
I mean,
them.
Yeah.
if we're talking meritocracy, like Split Fiction has a higher Metacritic score than Silksong.
Does it? I thought Silksong had like 96.
Silksong is 90, Split Fiction is 91, so we're kind
Is
of
that critic or is that
splitting
people?
haha, hairs. Let's see. Metascore 91, user score 8.7 for Hollow Knight, Metascore 90, user score 8.9.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you guys are really underestimating Ghost of Yotei and Silksong, or not Silksong, Split Fiction.
You know what?
No,
I'm
I still
gonna
feel like I'm estimating it correctly in my heart, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm gonna change all of my opinions at the last minute. I think that Split Fiction is gonna win. I want Silksong to win.
Interesting.
I mean, if we're going off of like Metacritic too, Yotei is 86 for the critics, so that has no chance if that's to be.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's like massively popular though. Like it
True.
makes up for its critical rating in sales figures.
I could see Death Stranding 2 win. I don't think I could see Yotei winning this one. I think Yotei has the best chance of winning art direction, but we'll get there when we get there. But I think. Oh man.
Yeah,
Someone else say it.
I don't think Death Stranding 2 is winning anything. I'm just going to state that for the record.
It has to win something. Jeff Keighley loves Hideo Kojima too much for it to not win anything.
Yeah, but has he ever actually won anything at TGA? Like, did Death Stranding
Death Stranding
win anything?
won some shit for sure.
What about Metal Gear Solid 5?
Oh, isn't that when? That's back when TGA was steaming piles. So I have no idea. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I know that guy loves fucking Kojima, but I don't know. I think there's just way too much competition for Death Stranding to pull it out for anything. I mean, without like knowing what it's up against in the rest of these awards.
I will say Think and Want Silksong.
Think
Yeah.
it won.
What did you say then? Silksong for both?
Yeah, I was also both.
So Seth's the only one going against the Silksong grain by saying Split Fiction is gonna win. But
It's
wants
it's
Silksong.
not what my heart feels, but it's just this sudden urge that I had.
I think it's a good bet. I think it's a pretty good bet.
Yeah, for the record, Death Stranding won Best Game Direction, Best Score and Music, and Best Performance.
Okay.
I won't spoil, but I do think that Death Stranding 2 is going to get a particular category later on. But for now, are you guys ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about this category.
And also, Metal Gear Solid won Best Action Game and Best Score. Metal Gear Solid 5, so yes.
Best score? I don't even remember the fucking soundtrack in that game.
That was 2015. That's 4. It was 2015 TGA, so that shit was whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
All right, next category, Best Action Game. Nominations are Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. I think this is the only category that Hades will win, and I also kind of want it to win, but I have heard good things about Doom.
I've heard good things about Doom. I've heard the opposite.
I played it on Game Pass. I thought it was pretty horrible personally.
I do not like the modern Doom games. I've heard like pretty polarizing stuff. I've heard people on both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
I think
That's true,
this
definitely.
is a very tough category because outside of Doom, the other 4 games, except maybe Battlefield 6, but that has just a popularity contest on its side. Like, people really liked Ninja Gaiden 4 and people really liked Shinobi. But Hades 2 is Hades 2, so that's tough to beat.
I feel like
I-
this is where Hades 2 gets
I'm
its
not sure about
flowers, I
Shinobi
think.
because is that the one where they put like a lot of bounce mechanics where you, like bounce off the enemies? 'Cause I think that a lot of like purists didn't like that mechanic, but I might be mistaking it for a different game that looks like a Shinobi 2D side-scrolling game.
I also
I'm
think
not
that when
sure. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that when people see Best Action Game, they're going to see Hades 2 and remember all the fun they had during runs and forget about all of the choring that they had to do.
Well, I mean, Hades 2 is literally the highest reviewed game of the year. That's not like a re-released fucking Zelda game. So that this is where Hades 2 gets its flowers.
Yeah, I think so too.
Agree, and I rated that game a 9, so I really do want it to win.
Yeah, that being said, even though I think Hades 2 is gonna win, I think I'd want Ninja Gaiden 4 to win. Because I hear that it does like do justice for like the fans for the most part, for the fans of that series specifically.
Yeah, which I'm not. So fuck that game. I want Hades 2 to win, and I want all of them to lose.
I think Hades 2 will win. And I think I want Ninja Gaiden 4.
Interesting. I didn't know you guys were Ninja Gaiden guys.
I'm not, but I just like that. I don't know when I think of like the words action game, I think of something in my head and like my mind's eye, something that looks like a Ninja Gaiden 4 over the rest. Like that's like the embodiment, like like the textbook definition thumbnail that you would see would just be a picture of Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. I definitely think I can't speak specifically to 4, but I think Ninja Gaiden is definitely a better action game than Hades 2 is. And it's also because I think if Path of Exile 2 is nominated for this category, it sweeps easy. Because I think PoE 2 is just a better Hades 2 in terms of gameplay. But it's not out yet, so can't get here yet.
All right, we ready for the next one?
Interesting. Yeah, this is the most interesting one so far, I think.
God. Oh, what an astounding year for best score in music. Nominations are Christopher Larkin for Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Korb for Hades 2, Lorian Testard for Expedition 33, Toma Otowa for Ghost of Yote, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2. Man, what a fucking category.
Yeah,
Holy
absolutely
moly.
insane. So I meant to listen to the Ghost of Yote soundtrack. I didn't get a chance to, but I did listen to the Death Stranding 2 soundtrack, and it's actually pretty fucking dope too.
Oh yeah.
I really like Woodkid.
I'm gonna deviate from you guys on this. Well, maybe not. Expedition 33 is gonna win. I mean, let's
Take
be
one.
real.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
let's be honest. Expedition 33, that is like legitimately one of the greatest soundtracks of anything. Like movies, games, TV show, doesn't matter. It's just one of the best of all time across any medium. It has a fucking incredible story with a dude that was just found off of SoundCloud who linked up with this fucking angel of a woman, and they just created pure high art. Like there's really no competing with this. But I want Silksong to win because I like it more.
I think that like what Silksong does really well is just distilling everything down, because I've said a million times that what I really appreciate Expedition 33 for in terms of its soundtrack over everything else is just sheer volume of quality. At least I hold that opinion. I think that that is a very long soundtrack full of a lot of good songs and a lot of good sounds. But Silk Song is really good at exactly what it's trying to do, for sure. I do not hate on wanting Silk Song to pick. I think that is totally reasonable, but I do want Expedition 33 to win, and I do think it will win.
Yeah, like for me, I think the difference is that like it is kind of one of I think it's just one of density. It's like the peaks of the Expedition 33 soundtrack are nigh unbeatable. Like there are just there's like three, maybe four songs from that soundtrack that are just untouchable. They're just in the fucking like pantheon of music. But I think Silk Song does a better job of um like evoking certain feelings as you're traversing the world. Like you can obviously think of a lot of Expedition 33 songs from when you're like fighting a boss, like particularly when you're fighting Renoir, when you're fighting fucking Simon, when you're fighting Mael or well Alicia. But can you think of all the random songs when you're just wandering around like random zones? I mean, I kind of can't, but I can picture almost every single Silk Song song because I think it does just an absolutely incredible job of capturing the mood and the feeling of where it is that you're exploring. Better than Expedition 33 does on average. That's the key here, on average. But again, the peaks of Expedition 33 are just like again, just totally unfuckwithable.
The only thing I want to say in response to that, and this is just like in the moment that I'm thinking this, so I might have to think about it more, but I actually think that the song of the mist in Silk Song into the Phantom boss, I think that individually might be higher than anything in Expedition 33 for me. It might be.
Yeah, that part's great. Scar Singer Carmelita is great. The Choral Chambers is great. Like there's so many good moments in the Silk Song soundtrack. Um, that I feel like I could argue are just as good as like We Lost or Una Vita Email or whatever the fuck. I'm not French. Shut up. Um, but yeah, like this is it's a battle of titans. Honestly, like Hades 2 is also really fucking good. So yeah, I stick with will win Expedition 33 just because it's you just can't really objectively argue against it. But I do want Silk Song to win.
Where's Ben at in all this?
I'm pretty indifferent, unlike you guys. I don't feel too strongly about it, and that's mostly because of like my particular brand of like contrarian autism, where like the way I enjoy music is so different from an alien to like all other humans. Where like on my phone, like the thing that I use, like my music player, the way that I have it set up is that I always have it on repeat and shuffle, and I listen to like the same song for like weeks on end, and then I press next a couple of times until I find the new song to listen to weeks on end. So like the only soundtracks that I really get into are stuff that like kind of grinds into my brain through like brain worms or repetition. So basically it's like restricted to like MMO or roguelike soundtracks. So like any of these games on this list, like I know that there were great songs, but since I only played through them once and heard each song once, it like goes into one ear and out the other. So I think that Expedition 33 will win just by like how much I hear about how incredible it is, and I'm sure it is. I just don't really remember anything out of it. And what I wanted to win, I really couldn't care less. So I guess I might as well just say Expedition 33 as well.
I love you, Ben.
Ben, can you
so
describe for
good.
everyone exactly how it is that you actually do like listen to music? Like if you were to hop in your car, like the steps it takes from I want to listen to this song in my car to listening to it in your car, just so everyone
Uh,
knows.
well, it's really easy. It just connects automatically through Bluetooth, and the song I want to listen to is already playing.
Yeah, but how does the song get onto your phone? Because you have a
Oh,
unique
oh yeah,
methodology.
yeah, I'm so anti like subscription services. I don't have Spotify, so I just do it the old school way, where I just download the MP3s and then I just send them to my phone.
That's
I
so
like just
sick.
having that selection where I can just pick and choose which song I want. I don't want like advertisements. I don't want to like pay for premium. I just want to press play on the track and then it plays on repeat, ideally.
It's
That's so
fucking
sick.
God bless you, Ben. God bless you.
straight up 2007, and it's
So
fucking
sick.
dope.
Yeah, I never evolved past when I got like the first like iPod, not iPhone, but like the original like
Yeah.
iPod. I've just treated music the same way ever since. I just want that library.
Oh shit! All right, well
That's
I'm off my
great.
soapbox. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, I mean, it's Think Want, Expedition 33. Like, I think Hades 2 is fine. I think Hades 2 has like really good peaks, but I think just on average, it's kind of just like generic rock music for me. I think Silk Song is really good, but kind of like you said, I think Expedition 33 is just generational.
Yeah, like
Very
I
fair.
don't want to like let Hades 2 go too untalked about here, because there is like some extremely good music in Hades 2. Like all three Skilla songs, like
Yeah.
even amongst Silk Song, um, E33 and Hades 2, like what I've listened to the most by far this year are those three Skilla songs. Like those motherfuckers lived on a 3-song rotation on repeat in my car for probably like a couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
so Hades 2 is no fucking slouch.
definitely those songs and the Kronos fight, I think, are great
Yeah,
songs.
God, the Kronos fight song is also like fucking
It's really
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
I think for me, it almost comes down to the same thing you were saying with Silk Song, where it's about density. And I feel like Hades 2 has a lot of really good songs, and the rest of them are like totally forgettable. IMO.
Yeah, agreed. I do agree with that.
Also, even though we're saying there's only like 7 notable songs, the fact that he arranged like 170 of them or whatever it is like silly.
Are you
Like
talking about E33?
for Expedition 33, yeah. Like even though it's like their arrangements and it's not hard to make songs like that, the fact that they exist in that quantity is like dumbfounding. That is so much fucking music to make.
I was wondering, I don't know anything about this, but like I was wondering how much of those arrangements were more like programmatically created because of the way that the game reacts to music, like in situ, like while you're actually playing the game. I wonder how much of those were just made purely for reactivity inside of
It's
the
like most
combat
of
and
them.
stuff.
I don't know how he did it, but I know like uh Guillaume would go to what's his name, Lorien, and he would be like, "Hey, I need a song for this," and he would come back with like 3, and it'd be like, "What the fuck?" So that's why there's so many, because he would ask him for something and he would overproduce. So I don't know if that guy just loves music and just has it all in his head, or yeah, like if you said he has some kind of like generative process to come up with them.
I have a hypothetical for you guys. What if
I'm ready.
like 5 years from now, it came out that he actually just straight up used AI for all of it? Like
That'd
he
be so
didn't do
funny.
anything. The girl that did all of the singing, she's not even real. It was
She's
all AI.
Every time he's playing guitar in one of the live performances, it's actually just like him with a Bluetooth speaker up his butthole.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that one mixing issue when they first played live, right? Like you couldn't hear the guitar, it's because he wasn't playing.
We're on to something. I will say I am so fucking pumped to see what that dude does next. Like it's like a Yoko Taro thing, right?
yeah.
Like it's almost like no matter what he does, if it has a budget and his name on it, I'm going to check it out. Like no
I
matter
think it's
what.
going to be the next Sandfall game, right? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't he?
almost.
I think
assume, yeah.
if they're
Oh,
going to make
thank
a game,
fuck yeah.
he's probably just like so indebted to them, right? Because this is a guy who wanted to get into games and like didn't have an avenue, and now he's like the biggest thing in games, and like he owes that
Yeah.
all,
Yeah,
to,
I mean,
or he owes most of that to getting the chance from Guillaume. So
yeah, almost certainly it's the
Damn.
next Sandfall game, but you never know.
Yeah,
It
damn,
doesn't
Jordan,
matter what it is.
The way you're talking about that, Jordan, the composer normally gives the speech when they win, right?
yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I want him to win strictly so I can hear his speech, among other things. I think he'll have a great speech for the reasons that you've kind of said here.
He's a very awkward dude. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if we hear oh man, I can't remember her name. The lady,
Alice
Oh, if
Dupourier or
I just
something.
get to
Alice DuPont, something like that.
even
Yeah.
better if I get to hear her voice give the
Yeah,
speech.
I
I
have a feeling she'll probably do some talking.
They'll
as
probably
well.
both be up there, yeah. But I think he's
Yeah.
going to at least say like thank you and thank you to Guillaume, kind of thing.
Oh
For
yeah,
giving
I'm
him
not
the
saying
opportunity.
I'm not saying he's gonna get up there and like fucking hide in his turtle shell, but they will
He
definitely
might.
both talk.
He is very reserved.
All right, well, in any case, what an amazing category. You guys ready to move on to best performance?
Yep.
Yup.
Also an amazing category.
Yet again, another amazing fucking category. Best performance nominees are Ben Starr, Expedition 33, Charlie Cox, Expedition 33, Erika Ishii for Ghost of Yote, Jennifer English for Expedition 33, Konatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I have kind of a hot take with this one that makes no sense. If you guys want to start, but wow, 3 fucking people from E33, crazy.
Real quick though, is Konatsu Kato, is that the little girl from Silent Hill? Just to clear it up for me.
A little girl? It's the main character.
Yeah,
What do you mean by little girl?
Isn't that a little girl? Isn't the main
Oh,
character
yeah.
a little girl? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
She's
looks-
not that
I just
little. I think
Googled
she's
it,
like a
looks
high
like
school
her.
kid. But yeah. I also want to say I don't think this is a hot take, but I think that the person who should have won this isn't even nominated, and that's Andy Serkis. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's a hot take
actually.
or not.
Oh, that is true. Yeah,
But
that
it's
is
also
definitely
like
I do
snub.
agree.
he might win a BAFTA for this. So I saw people say like he probably didn't get nominated because he's going to win a BAFTA for it. So if that happens, then I'm like, all right, fine.
I feel like I first of all I do agree. I 100% agree with that. I think you could just play basically all of the cutscenes at the very end of Expedition 33, like before and after you fight him, and that's like his I win reel. Like you don't even have to see the rest. But
Yeah.
my kind of presumption here is that they wanted to give it to someone in the industry. They didn't want to get it to like a straight up like Hollywood known actor type. I'm pulling shit out of my
Yeah.
ass here.
what about Charlie Cox though?
Charlie Cox is not like an established guy the same way that like Andy Serkis is. Like he was Daredevil and not much else.
Yeah,
Charlie
but I
Cox
mean,
is also a popularity thing.
he is not an industry guy for the that's why I bring him up.
Yeah, but he's also not going to win. I think if you nominated Andy
might.
Serkis, I think he probably would have won.
Yeah. No, but I agree. Like, also, like, what does it mean to Andy Serkis? Like, that dude is so well established, right? Like, I think it'd be cool
Yeah.
if he wins a BAFTA.
Yeah,
I think it's cool just-
that's the other thing too, right? He could win the award and just like not even be there because he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think he
The
probably
same thing
will
for
because he
Charlie
seems like a
Cox.
cool dude and he talked highly of the role, and how he had fun and how it was challenging and everything. So I think he'll
Yeah.
show up, but I don't think he should win, not because he didn't deserve it, but because he's got bigger fruit on the vine.
Well, what do we actually think is going to win here, though? Because to me,
Let's start with Ben.
it's a battle between two people, and I can't decide between those two.
No,
Let's start with
I'll
Ben.
just go. Yeah, I think Jennifer English is gonna win, but I would want Ben Starr to win. That's just
Nice.
how I feel about it.
I was hoping you were going to pick Troy Baker from Indiana Jones. Apparently, people
I
say
didn't
he
play
did
that
really
game.
well. And
I'm sure he
it.
did. He's a good voice actor, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know anything
he
about the
apparently
game.
he apparently did fucking amazing. Like to the point that like Harrison Ford himself was like, "The hell, he's like better. He's a better Indiana
Yeah.
Jones than me."
Did
But-
he? I haven't like listened to that game much. Did he like try to imitate Harrison Ford, or did he do his own thing?
Yeah, he does a pretty good
Yeah.
job. There's like definitely a little bit of doing his own thing, but like it's Indiana Jones for sure.
As someone who played the game for 90 minutes, I didn't know it was Troy Baker. So I think he did a good job in and of like
Oh, wow.
that.
Yeah,
I think he's super good at not having his voice in his performances.
Yeah, and as someone who's like an Indiana Jones super fan to the point that Mary and I fucking marathoned the first 3 movies at some point this year actually. He does a really, really fucking good job. So
All right, I can go.
Yeah.
Right, you can if you want, Sash. I saw my hot take.
I mean, I was just it's the obvious stuff like between Ben Starr and Jennifer English, right? So I like more, again, Golden Joysticks. It splits this category into lead performance and supporting performance. And with that, Jennifer English won the lead performance and Ben Starr won the supporting performance. But when you put them in the same category, it gets difficult. I think Ben Starr had a better performance, personally. So I think
agree.
I'll go with Think and Want for him.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that Ben Starr's performance is like an absolutely generational fucking performance. I do think he will win. If there was a subcategory that I could put in for who I think would win, like for the audience, like the people voting, I think Charlie Cox would win. Actually, I think he would win
Yeah.
for the popularity thing because I think people would look at this list and remember, get out of my way, and vote for Charlie
Yeah.
Cox. However, my hot take, and to preface this, I'm a fraud. I have not listened to a single voice line. I have not seen a single second of gameplay from Ghosts of Yote. But I think Erika Ishii is really cool. I know them from Critical Role and Dropout. I think they're a really cool person, and I'm really glad they got nominated. And I want Erika Ishii to win.
That's not a hot take. If you said think, I'd be like, you're burning up. But if you want her to win, I think that's super cool. Because I mean, like the other people, everybody in Expedition 33 is going to have a career for the rest of their life, basically just because of that game. And
Exactly.
Charlie Cox is Charlie Cox. Like Ben Starr is doing everything. He's in Night Rain. Like, and he does one voice. He doesn't do voices.
Yeah, like
So,
that.
yeah.
That's why, like, even though, like I said, I think Ben Starr is an absolutely generational performance. Like, God, what a fucking talented guy, and I think he will win. Like even after his speech at the Game Awards, like he clearly cares about this shit. And
Oh, yeah.
super talented guy. Same with Jennifer English, but even more so for Ben Starr. But no, yeah, I'm going with my heart on who I want to win, and I want Eric
Sure.
Ishii to win because of kind of the reason you
Yeah.
just said.
I don't think if somebody said they wanted anybody on this list to win, I don't think I'd call them an idiot because like I don't know anything about the Silent Hill F performance, but people said like I'm glad you got nominated because that was badass and Troy Baker's Troy Baker, right? So like there's no bad choices here if you want them to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you guys where I'm of two minds. Like in terms of who will win, I do think that this is a battle between Ben Starr and Jennifer English. And to be quite honest, like I hope whichever one of the two of them wins just like gets up on the stage with a fucking angle grinder and just cuts the award in half and gives the other one to the other person, because that's just how it feels like it should be. Because like in my opinion, like one is good because of the other. Like that might not come out right, but like they play off
You're
of
right,
each
yeah.
other so fucking well that I think if you didn't have Jennifer English, Ben Starr's performance is not nearly as good. If you don't have Ben Starr, Jennifer English's performance is not nearly as good. So
Yeah.
it makes it so hard to distinguish between them. But I'm just going to say Mael because I think she's one of the greatest video game characters of all time. I think she's a very complex human and a very complex written character, and Jennifer English does incredible justice, which is nothing to say to the rest of the people nominated for this award because this is also like one of the most stacked awards of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just think you made a really good point about how they bounce off of each other because, and I'm trying to avoid spoilers when I say this, but there's a line that Jennifer English has at the very end of Claire Obscure after you, I forget, it might be the line regardless of who you pick. I don't remember. So stop that line. And I feel like that line could be cheesy with other contexts and with a worse partner, but the way that Ben Starr plays off of that, I think makes that line work really fucking well in the context of what's happening. So yeah, I think you're 100% right.
Yeah, I mean it's just the greatest like performed video game of all time, and I don't think it's a particularly close battle. Like all five of these awards could have just been Claire Obscure people if you nominated like Andy Serkis and then like take your pick. Fucking nominate. Yeah, fucking Minoko would be awesome. Fucking Esquier. I don't give a shit. Any of them deserve it.
If you put a gun to my head and asked me to choose between Claire Obscure and Last of Us, I'd probably just tell you to shoot me.
Yeah, those. You know what? I'm going to put you guys on the spot, and maybe this will have to get edited out because it's kind of a tangent and it's a really hard question. What is your Mount Rushmore of video game performance, like games overall in terms of performance?
Just games and like not individual actors, just like whole games.
Yeah, just like the ensemble.
Because it's hard for me to say because I assume you guys are mostly talking about like the voice acting. Because when I think of Expedition 33, I can't get past some of the fucking Mass Effect Andromeda facial animations that game had, and I think that technically is part of performance.
It's weird because motion capture, in this case, the motion capture actors are different than the performance actors, which I was going to bring up, but we could talk about after this. But I don't know. I don't know how that. I don't think that that's on this category and how this is constructed. But I would agree.
And also, I think in like the way that you meant for this question to be answered, Thomas, I think I would put Baldur's Gate 3 at the top above Expedition 33.
Yeah, I think the top three are pretty obvious. I think like if you are a functional, breathing human, your top 3 is probably Expedition 33, Last of Us, and Baldur's Gate 3, and then the last
Yeah.
one's probably just like a flex spot.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking individual performers. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is
Just
probably the top for me.
Yeah, just the ensemble. Mount Rushmore has 4 heads on it, so you got to pick a fourth.
Oh fuck yeah, because it's Baldur's Gate 3, then Expedition 33, then Last of Us. Like that's pretty linear down to like number of quality, like talented voice actors in each game. Oh man, maybe Disco Elysium. I'm just gonna rip it. I'm just gonna rip it.
That was my
I
fourth.
like that.
Yeah, that was my fourth. I think you could also make an argument for Planescape Torment as well, but yeah, Disco Elysium was my fourth.
Yeah, I feel like it's a cliff after those 3. Honestly.
I don't know if I would say cliff. I would say there's probably
For
like
me.
3. There's like 3 more that are like a half step below, and then there's a cliff.
Yeah, I think that like Disco Elysium's performances are fucking crazy. Like they deserve a spot on Rushmore for sure.
Yeah, because like in my opinion, the top 3 is the top 3. I don't. It's like if you argue against those, you're just a contrarian cuckold. But I think like Disco Elysium, Planescape Torment, and The Witcher 3 are all things that are like deserving of like a similar level of recognition. Like Witcher 3 is fucking incredible performances. The bad guy in the Hearts of Stone DLC, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, like is probably one of the first like video game performances that made me think about like holy shit, like these can actually be this incredible like after Last of Us.
Yeah, for me it's a cliff just because I don't have any experience like that where like I can't think of any performance where I'm like, holy shit. Even like a single performance. Like there's games that I think have like a couple good ones, but that's why like I think it just becomes like a pool of a bunch of that's pretty good for me.
I think if I had to choose something that's like close-ish to Disco Elysium, and you guys can feel free to disagree with this one, but it might be Half-Life 2.
That's funny.
I mean, I don't think that's wrong. I think it's I think if Half-Life 2 was made in the modern age and they had like mocap and stuff, it would age like wine.
Yeah, like where I started going with that was because of I can't remember her name, but the voice actress for GLaDOS, who also plays the Overwatch in Half-Life 2 announcer person. Like she's in each of the Orange Box games. But then like I took her voice and then I was like, wait, Half-Life 2 actually just has a lot of good talent. Like the guy that voices Eli, the lady that voices Alex, like that's a really good cast. The guy that voices Kleiner too is also really good. Barney, all of them are really good.
Yeah, honestly, her name's Ellen McLean, by the way. But
Yes. Thank you.
like even like Portal 2 is really fucking good.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, you basically just have like 3, right?
3
You
people,
have
yeah, but they're all fucking
Wheatley
all
and
stars.
yeah, that's a good shout for sure. If I could just like lump generally the Valve games together, I would, but that's like super cheating.
Also, Overwatch is really good. That's why, like, for me, it's like, fuck, I don't have a fourth pick. There's just so many
Overwatch
good
is a good
ones.
shout. I don't think it's on the same like I'm not Overwatch. I don't think it's like on the same level of quality as some of the stuff we've been talking about, but I actually do love the voice acting in Diablo 2. It's very very memorable, like every
Oh, yeah.
character.
Especially for the time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You guys want to move on to the next category?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Best narrative nominations are Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. Is there going to be an argument against anything other than Clair Obscur?
Not for
No.
me.
No, nothing's even close.
Yeah, I
This
think
is-
it's just gonna universally win both, like what I want to win and what will win.
This is the only category, I think, that's just a fucking landslide and should be a landslide.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree. I can't even drum up a contrarian take against Expedition
I
33
can.
for this.
I'm
mean,
so
Death Stranding
confident
2
there's
is
some
the one.
Kojima. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some Kojima cucks out there for sure.
Death Stranding 2 is
Yeah.
the only one.
I don't know anything about the Death Stranding games, to be honest with you.
I can
so.
speak to that a little bit because I bought Death Stranding 1 in a humble bundle like years ago, and I just installed it earlier this week, and it's already uninstalled, but I did sink a decent bit of time into it, and it has actually a pretty cool story. The reason why I uninstalled it is because I feel like I experienced all of the entire gameplay loop, and then I extrapolated in my head that this would be my experience for the next 40 hours. Like, I'm not doing that. But the story is actually pretty cool. And if 2 is like as interesting, then I can see why it's nominated at least. Like, it's not like a slouch, I guess is what I'm saying.
I feel like I'm definitely in a poison the well kind of state from the people who just love Kojima way too much. And to be clear, I've never played a Kojima game, so it is what it is. But every vibe that I get when I like consider playing Death Stranding or one of the Metal Gear Solid games is that Kojima is just like he's trying a little bit too hard. Like it's a little bit much. What I appreciate about E33 is that like even though like there's a lot to say in the game and like the world is really unique, it's very simple. Like the core plot structure is very simple. I'd love me a 3-act structure, and everything is very easy to understand. And that's not to say that like complexity is a bad thing, but I think that E33 does a phenomenal job at balancing complexity with accessibility.
So I think like some credit I would give to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is that in my opinion it is like by far the most like grounded possibly unique narrative on this list just because of what it is. And I've already kind of talked about it to where it's just like this very, very like down to earth, almost like slice of life story with just a guy just doing guy stuff and kind of getting thrust into some of these like warrior like light political intrigue storylines, but it's never like grandiose. It's never like he's a fucking chosen one. He's just a guy. So even though it has absolutely no hope here, I do want to like just give a shout to that game because I think it's I just think it's really cool the way that they constructed that game, both narratively and with the world around it. So not gonna come close to taking a bite out of E33's vote count here, but still very cool.
I mean, I think that's kind of to be said about all these games, except maybe Yote. I can't speak to Yote. But like Silent Hill F apparently was doing cool stuff to some extent. And apparently if you are into Silent Hill, there's a lot of like cross-referencing shit across the series that people really liked. If you're really into it, it would be fall on deaf ears for me. And then yeah, like Death Stranding 2 and obviously Kingdom Come Deliverance, like you said. So I think it's not a weak category, but I think Clair Obscur just kind of triumphs by a mile.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a matter of 4 very good things and one like potentially
Yeah.
the greatest ever thing.
Correct. I could see this somehow slipping away as a AAA paycheck to Kojima, but it would be a massive upset. A lot of people lose money on Polymarket if so.
Now, I see down the list that it's nominated for some other things, so that's where it can get its DEI win.
Yeah, keep in mind too, we're not going through every single award, so there's still probably opportunities for that and some of the other ones that we're not talking about. I assume I don't remember what we cut out, to be
I
honest.
don't think we skipped any of the
You guys
real
skipped
game
one that
ones.
was important in my opinion. That was best mobile game.
I mean, it's Wuthering Waves, right?
I disagree. I think I want Uma Musume to win, but I think Wuthering Waves will win. I think it should be disqualified though, because it says best mobile game. It's the name of the fucking award, and ain't nobody playing that game on a phone unless that phone is from the future.
I mean, that's a good point. Uma Musume probably should win. So,
All right.
All
Well,
right.
yep, one of the greatest narratives of all time. Next.
Best multiplayer category nominations are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. I have not played any of these except for the first act of Split Fiction. I think that Queue Up should have been nominated, but I'm going to let you guys talk about this while I go pee because I don't have strong opinions
I
here.
could not care less about this entire fucking
Let's
award.
see.
If you had to put a gun to my head, I think Arc Raiders will win. And
Let's
I
wants
see.
to
guess I
win.
don't even care about what wins.
I have watched 3 out of the 5 of these get played. I've watched people play Arc Raiders. I've watched Jordan play Peak and Split Fiction with Chris. I've not played it. I have played Elden Ring Night Rain. I actually did enjoy that game, even though it did not really like capture my attention for very long. I thought it was okay. But what should win is Abiotic Factor, which is not on here.
Yeah. This is also a massive snub category for 1, Abiotic Factor, and also 2, Marvel Rivals. I think Marvel Rivals just lost to recency bias, basically, because I mean that game launched with 600,000 players, but it just launched at the end of last year, so like people kind of just forgot about it. I played all of these except Battlefield 6. I think Arc Raiders is going to win as a recency bias thing. Split Fiction has a small chance of winning behind that. And then Night Rain would be the put the paycheck in the bag win. I don't even know what I want to win, though.
It's funny you mentioned Marvel Rivals. Like, I wasn't even under the impression that came out this year.
Came out
Like-
in December
like
last year,
if-
which was after the
yeah.
cutoff of last year's game.
Yeah, and if you told me that game came out in like 2023, I'd be like, yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I mean, like Tom said, I think even Abiotic Factor should have been nominated, and if it was nominated, it probably should have won this. But yeah, I think Arc Raiders is going to win. And I think that's what I want to win.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I guess I never said what I think is going to win, and then I do think Arc Raiders is going to win, even though I don't want another extraction shooter to get made ever again for the rest of my life.
I think it'll be Split Fiction just because
Yeah.
like it's been a minute since it came out, but people fucking love that game when it came out.
I agree. They could definitely get it. I still think it's probably the biggest
Yeah.
snub category, I think. It's a
Actually-
weird category.
I'm changing my vote to Split Fiction because it's going to get the normie vote, and I think
Yep.
it's like an easy justification of like I played this game with my wife on the couch. We had so much fun, and I think that's going to like weigh heavily for a lot of the voting critics and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to remember that this is the game that came out after It Takes Two, which won Game of the Year on the year of its release, and so like there was a fair amount of hype that I think like people carried into their opinions of this game.
Yeah. Where's Once Upon a Galaxy on this list?
Very true. Early access.
True.
All right, are we ready for next category?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, although, I mean, I guess I'll let you explain it, but I don't really know the difference between audio design and, like, other audio stuff.
Sound
Are there multiple
effects.
categories for audio?
All that shit.
Music I think is what he means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant, like soundtrack.
It's everything other than the music.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Okay.
simple.
Sound effects, mixing, all that.
So like in Expedition 33, for example, it might be like the sound that plays when you press a menu, that little sound that
Yeah.
happens.
I got you.
Okay, nominees for Best Audio Design are Battlefield 6, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 once again, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghosts of Yote, and Silent Hill F.
I think this is where Death Stranding 2 gets its DEI award.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say as well.
I think this is the only category that Claire Obscura doesn't deserve to win.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna agree with that.
I
I
would
don't. I
agree.
remember even when we had our episode, which I don't think is recorded, so no one can listen to it. But I said I didn't like the sound design of this game because it just felt like sound library kind of whatever shit. So
I will say, in terms of the audio design, what they do with the music is really cool. But yeah, outside of that, pretty mediocre actually.
yeah. Something weird here is that Doom's not on here because I think that whole game is audio design.
Yeah, like why is Battlefield 6 on here?
It's because that game has a lot of crazy sound design shit. Like, honestly, that probably what I think might. Nah, Death Stranding is probably going to win. But Battlefield 6 has really cool audio design. as the category is defined. Like
Yeah.
watching people play that game, it has fucking crazy cool audio.
Yeah, I mean, like, looking at it from like a perspective of the Oscars, right? Like, the movies that typically win the analogous category at the Oscars for this are always like fucking war movies, World War II shit. So
Yeah, it's tough though, because like Silent Hill actually has. I haven't heard a lot of it, but I heard probably the first 2 hours ish, and like it's fine. It's not bad. It's better than Clair Obscur for sure, in my book.
I think I'm gonna say Silent Hill F will win. I think that will win. I kind of want Ghost of Yotei to win though, just because I like the kind of vibe that they're going for in that
Yeah.
game.
yeah, I'm not like well educated enough on this category and the games inside of it to really know. Like, I think Ghost of Tsushima was an incredible game from an audio design perspective. So
Yeah.
if Yotei wins, that wouldn't surprise me. Death Stranding
tough category.
Death Stranding's fucking Kojima. Silent Hill is a Silent Hill game. Always has great audio direction. Battlefield is Battlefield. So yeah, like literally any of the 5 of these could win. I'm not familiar enough with all 5 to be able to pick a favorite really.
This is probably the toughest category so far, and it's because Clear Obscure can't compete. Yeah, I think Death Stranding will probably get it, and I think I want Yotei to get it. I think Yotei had some kind of cool shit going on. It's so tough between those 3, man. Yeah, I'll say think Yotei.
That's a tough
Or
category.
want Yotei and think Death Stranding.
Yeah, I have the same.
Yeah, for me, it's just both think and want Death Stranding. And I
Hell yeah.
guess, because I mean, I didn't play Death Stranding 2, but I played Death Stranding 1, and I do think that, like, the breadth of, like, how many different sound effects they have for, like, literally fucking everything is
Yeah,
actually pretty astounding.
exactly.
That's
Like,
fair.
not only is it just, like, the overworld shit where, like, all the footsteps and the ambience and all, like, just everything related to just being outside in the world is just, like, so immersive.
Yeah.
But then they also have, like, a bunch of sound effects that they've had to record from, like, Norman Reedus taking showers and, like, shitting and pooping and pissing and stuff, and there's, like, a lot of that's actually recorded, so, like, there's just so much attention to detail in Death Stranding 1 that I assume is the same or more so in 2, and so I just feel like it's gonna win, and I do want it to win.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Silk Song should have been nominated?
Ooh, that's a good point. Absolutely, it should have.
Maybe.
Song has much better audio design by far than
I-
Clear Obscure.
I just remember really liking the sound when, like, you
Yeah.
call the Bell Beast, for example. Like it was just a really cool sound, and I think Thomas had in the notes back then that this was the game with the best Banjo Kazooie voice acting that he had ever
Yeah.
heard.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
I
out,
could see Silk Song
out,
for sure.
outside of the like barks and stuff from like all the various characters, I don't know. It's better than Expedition 33. So yes, it should have been nominated. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, I agree though. Like all the different bell sounds and like there's a lot of really cool sounds in that game. Ben kind of reminded me though that like Kojima loves Foley. He loves sound effects. So as Ben said that, I was like, oh yeah, he loves that shit. So he'll probably win just off of that and everything that Ben said of like he might be the only person who actually recorded Foley in this category.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember he loves Foley, and I had to confirm it. And yeah, he thinks that a sound is 80% of an experience with a game. So he loves
That's funny.
sound.
Next up is Best Art Direction. Nominees are Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Silk Song. Oddly enough, I feel like in a game that's all about, painting and art and blah, 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 I don't think that Clair Obscure is going to win this at all.
Yeah, agreed. This is, in my opinion, this is between, in terms of quality, like objectively, at least in my opinion, it's a battle between Hades 2 and Silk Song, and Silk Song comes out on top, I think.
Yeah, Silk Song is definitely my want. I think that everything about that game visually is fucking incredible, and the fact that everything is hand drawn, I think, is something to encourage in the industry. Very impressive game from top to bottom in terms of its art direction. Kind of think Ghost of Yotei is going to win, though.
I don't think that's a bad pick. For me, it's
Yeah.
just that Silksong. I don't think I've ever played a game with the attention to detail in every single asset that Silksong has. Like, we already talked about this, or at least I already talked about this when we talked about the episode. But like, there are just like certain instances in that game where if you're not really like looking for it, you're gonna miss it. Like, there's so much in every single background in that game that does a tremendous amount of world building and also looks amazing. um, I know I talked about this, but the fucking elevator that takes you up to the second lace fight is like one of my favorite assets in any game ever, because it's just this stupid ass elevator that you're just constantly getting in because this boss is whooping your ass, but like every fucking pixel of it was like attended to in a very caring, detailed way, and that's just how I feel about every single fucking moment of every single piece of art inside of that game. I have never experienced something quite like Silksong in terms of its attention to detail. It's crazy. So I want it to win. Do I think it'll win? I don't know, to be honest, but I do really want it to win.
Yeah, I think for the reasons you said is why I wanted to win. Like if you go like I always think of oh god, I can't remember the names. Is it the Flood Marsh, the like drowned city place? I can't remember the name. Like very swampy, like dusky, dark area. I can't remember.
Bilgewater?
There's a couple of them.
No,
Oh, I was
it's
talking about
earlier in the
Bilgewater.
game.
The Hunter's March, like the literal first one.
No, it's after Hunter's March. Well, regardless, like it's prevalent in a lot of areas. It's just that one area. It's where there's all the like balloons that you use to bounce up and go really high. But there's like 4 or 5 layers in every single map, and it just looks so good in every single one. Like just pull up a map from that game and just look at how many different layers that they're using to create depth and dynamism and like context to this area you're in. It's fucking beautiful. But like what Thomas is saying, I think a lot of that stuff is really subtle. Even though it's incredible, I don't think it's like overt enough that it's gonna grab the average person's attention in a way that'll win the award compared to something like Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, I just want to
Fair.
say, like, if for whatever reason you guys ever go back and replay Silksong, like if there's a DLC or whatever, like really pay attention to the backgrounds. The backgrounds in that game are like some
yeah.
of the best I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is a hard category for me because, like,
For me personally, I like Expedition 33 the most. I think like the Paintress and like the monolith and everything are really cool designs. I like the idea of like destroyed Paris is kind of like the setting and everything. I think the character designs are kind of like a little generic and whatever compared to something like Silk Song and Hades and everything. But I kind of like all of the environments and everything that's going on around a lot personally. I don't think it's gonna win, and nor do I even want it to win. But it's just my personal favorite. I think so. I want Silksong to win, basically for all the reasons that you guys said. Like, I just really love the environmental design, and I mean, they took 8 years on that game, and it really shows. So, like, uh, yeah, I definitely want Silksong to win. Think is hard as hell though, because
Yeah,
Death Stranding can easily win. Ghost of Yotei can easily win.
I still don't know what I think is going to win this.
For me, it's like for what will actually win. I think it's a toss up between E33 and Silksong. I think that E33 will win it from like the popularity perspective, but what I actually want to win would actually probably be Death Stranding too. And again, I'm just assuming that it's the same thing as the first one, but more and better. But like that game has like some of the best UI I've ever seen, like the coolest diegetic UI I've ever seen, and like a lot of cool, really well performed cutscenes with like really great cinematography that makes me think of like it's basically just like a really good movie. And yeah, I feel like all that is under art direction unless I'm mistaken on certain aspects, but that's why
No, you're right.
I'd want Death Stranding to win, but I don't think it will. I think it's either E33 or Silksong, and probably E33 will actually win it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was actually going to say, if we talked about it, that Death Stranding 2 is probably going to win game direction. But I think for the same reasons as that, I could see it winning art direction.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna settle on E33 is gonna win.
It's a good point to call out the animation side, because I think that's a huge point against Expedition 33, because I don't think that game has good animations compared to the other games on here. Literally all of them, except maybe Hades, because I think Hades has like almost no animation outside of like
Yeah.
attacks.
But I'll be honest though, like when people are thinking about art direction, they're not going to be sitting
True.
there thinking about animations. They're going to be thinking about shit like the painter's fight.
Cinematography. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I like it a lot. But oh man, I think I have to give it to Yote and for what I think is gonna win.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's just like the only game out of this entire list where I regularly saw just like images and GIFs of it pop up in my Reddit feed. That's like the only reason I think it'll win.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's anything kind of like how Ben is with Death Stranding, if Yote is anything like the first game, I mean, the first game was fucking gorgeous. I hated actually playing the game because it's just wander slop, but the game itself is just one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen.
All right. Best game direction nominees are Claire Obscure Expedition 33 for the 33rd time, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split a Fiction. This is an easy win for Claire Obscure for me.
So I'll read it. Do you have it open? What is the category like defined as for direction? What am I thinking about here?
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
Yeah, it's Expedition. It's like you might as well not even talk about the rest. Expedition 33 is gonna fucking mop this shit up.
Yeah, I think the only
This is
competition
like
is the Stranding 2.
This is like the strength of Expedition 33 is its direction. So
I kind of I don't know. I feel like Kojima is just going to get something here, and this is the only one that I think he would win personally. So I think it will win,
I
but I
agree.
absolutely think Claire Obscure should win because I think they did a lot. I mean, like, consider all of the discussion that people were having about, like, oh my god, turn-based games are back after it came out, which is kind of bullshit, but the discussion was there.
I think I will say I think Death Stranding 2 is going to win, and I want Expedition 33 to win. This is the one category where I'm like, yep, there it is. That's when Kojima's going on stage.
nah.
I agree.
For me, that's art direction. I'm actually the inverse of you, where I think Expedition 33 will win, but I actually would want Death Stranding to win.
Sure.
I don't think even Kojima has the gravity to suck this away from Expedition 33, and I don't even think it's close. I think this is like a 10-0.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't feel too strongly about it.
All right. Are we ready for the GOATY?
Sure.
Alrighty, Game of the Year, our ultimate category. Nominees are Claire Obscure Expedition 33 for the 34th time, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's Claire Obscure. Think and want.
I think we can all agree that Donkey Kong Bonanza is the loser of this category.
Yeah, it
There's a
ain't
reason
winning.
it's the only category it's nominated for, right?
Yeah, I there's a lot. This game isn't like Odyssey. This game is like kind of like Odyssey in the sense of like it has the highs of Odyssey, but then like the lows like fall through the floor. Like I've actually heard people who are like Nintendo heads talk shit about this game in a way that they didn't for something like Odyssey or even Mario Wonder, which I think is boring and awful. So I Bonanza being on here is the epitome of everything that we talked about in terms of like here's your pity award that you only got because you're a game made by Nintendo, because that does not deserve to be here at all.
Interesting. I did not realize it was that polarizing. I've only ever heard
It's-
people praise it.
It's only, but everyone's like, it's good. Like, it's good. I had issues with it. I had issues with this part. It starts really well, and then it ends really well, and then the middle is just kind of like a weird rocky road. So if you, it's the same thing as Hades 2. If you only played the first 5 hours, you probably think it's game of the year. If you played the whole game, you're like, ah, man, it kind of like dropped it a little bit in the middle there.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely like the black sheep of this category where like every other game here is like, it's like that Piper Perry meme where like fucking Death Stranding, fucking Claire Obscure, Silk Song, Hades 2, they're like the big buff dudes behind the couch, and then there's Donkey Kong Bonanza, just the skinny little white girl sitting on the couch.
Yeah. I mean, I think if that game was called something else or made by somebody else, 0 nominations, not even talked about. Something else would be here, but just because it's Nintendo, I think it's here. Also, it's funny that like Mario Kart World was such a bomb, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I think TGA would have been the most goated of all goated award ceremonies if it had Blueprints on here instead of Bonanza.
Yeah,
I don't.
Would have been awesome.
I agree, but I think that there's like so many other games I'd rather see than Bonanza.
That's
Like,
fair.
probably anything, even like Battlefield 6.
Yeah, anything would be better than Bonanza.
Yeah.
I don't intend, nor have I played Silent Hill F, but I would have appreciated seeing a nice
Yeah,
little horror
exactly.
game on here. by
Yeah, it's
comparison.
Anything.
really weird that Silent Hill F got like fucking 5 or 6 nominations, but here's Donkey Kong.
Bonanza, yeah. Yeah, that's very strange, actually. That's a very good point. I don't know. No shitting on Donkey Kong, but yeah, I think Expedition 33 wins, and I think if anything else wins, that's insanity. I think it's this and Narrative are the only two that seem like a shoe-in for it. So I think I'd want is Expedition 33 for me.
Yeah, I think this is
I-
like the least closes of all time. This is Expedition 33 will take it, and I want Expedition 33 to take it, but in the weird fucking alternate universe that we live in where Silksong wins, I would not
Yeah.
be mad.
I actually
Yeah,
want
like-
Silksong to win. I don't think it will. I think Expedition 33 will win, but I think I'd prefer if Silksong won. That's very wishful thinking, but I'll always hold the endings of Expedition 33 against it forever.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. There's no way to ever like confirm this because I don't think they like show percent polling or whatever the fuck for votes or
they
whatever.
don't.
But I kind of feel like Silk Song will be closer to Expedition 33 than you guys seem
yeah.
to be
I
implying.
mean,
I think that
I agree.
it's like
Yeah.
mostly an inoffensive game. Like Claire Obscure is kind of polarizing. Polarizing is the wrong word. A lot of people hated the ending. You know, that like initial vibe that people had.
A big thing with
Sure.
that, though, is you need to get to the ending to hate it. Like, a lot of people hated the beginning of Silksong.
True.
I mean, yeah, but also that's why the community vote only counts for 10% because otherwise Black Myth Wukong would have won every single fucking award that
yeah.
year.
By a mile, too. It would have stomped everything into the ground. And instead, it won, like, almost nothing, if I recall correctly.
I think it did. Did it win
It won
literal
best
zero?
It was like best community vote or something they had that year because they
Oh
knew
yeah,
probably had a win.
yeah.
Yeah, the player's choice, the
Yeah,
quote-unquote
exactly.
actual game of the year.
Notice how that's not here
Hilarious.
this year.
Yeah, Claire Obscure is one of the best games to come out. It is up there with, like, at least in recent years, like Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. It is one of the greats, and it will be known as such with its win.
I agree. I'm actually going through and doing my votes right now. Are there actually no other awards to talk about? Because like I'm seeing like best game for impact. Shut the fuck up.
Best VR game?
Do you want to talk about what else? Best racing game?
Best content creator of the
Yeah.
year.
Esports
Ooh,
team?
wait,
Esports
Wait, who do
athlete?
we have in content creator? Oh, we got
Esports
Moist
game?
Critical.
Was that the one?
Fucking
Was that?
Impact. Family
Burnt
game?
Peanut. What the fuck?
Yeah, I saw that too. That was funny. How do we get DSP nominated for that award?
That'd be
You have to
funny.
write them in.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else we can really bring up, right? Like sports game, but I don't think anybody here played any of the sports games. I only played Rematch and Sonic Racing.
Wait, why isn't Rivals on here?
Rivals on what?
Best
Multiplayer?
esports game.
It's not really an
Yeah, it's
esports
not-
game. Like it
yeah,
is,
not-
but it's
not
not
really.
compared to what's on there.
Huh.
Yeah,
The
I
five
assume it has
games
to have
on there-
a league, right? Does Rivals even
It
have
does.
a league? I don't
It
actually
has
know. Oh,
It has like a recurring what is it called, Clash or something? Like it's $1 million tournament. Like it's not nothing. It's just look at the
Okay,
games it's
gotcha.
competing against.
In
Like,
that
it's
case, yeah,
competing-
it should be nominated then, because look at the rest of these games.
Would you say look at
Like
the rest?
what, Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Like
Yeah, that was a $5 million tournament at Esports World Cup because of
Jesus.
Saudi money
What
behind
the
it. So like
hell?
those are the 5 biggest esports games. Like you may
That's
not like them
crazy.
or know anybody who plays
No,
them.
no,
but
you're right.
Those are there because they're the most popular.
Yeah, because this is absolutely not my wheelhouse. These
Oh.
are not games I'd be playing, so I have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. I committed misinformation earlier. Donkey Kong Bonanza was nominated for another category.
Oh,
It was
Best
also
Family Game.
nominated for Best Family.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
Is
for the
that its
record-
DEI win?
Along with
I wanna-
Lego Party,
Yeah.
Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, and Sonic Racing.
nice. That's
Honestly,
a
I want-
stacked category.
Honestly, Lego Party looks fucking sick. It's like a Mario Party that's not bullshit, and that's all I have to say.
That does sound kind of awesome.
Yeah. It's $40,
Dude.
which is fucking stupid, but besides that game looks sick.
You fucking going through this voting process and getting to content creator of the year is how I know I'm old.
Do you not know any of them?
No. I only know Moist Critical as the guy who occasionally shows up in my YouTube algorithm and he's always wearing a plain white tee and I never click his videos.
Yeah.
That's it. I've seen
I think he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Kai Cenat, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
I've seen his name because he seems to be like one of the most popular human beings on earth.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know who any of these other fucking people are.
It's silly how popular Kai Cenat is. Silly.
Who the fuck is Kadril? Who the fuck is Sakura
Kadril
Miko?
is League of
Who
Legends.
the fuck is the Burnt Peanut?
Burnt
I'm
Peanut is
gonna
a
vote for him.
VTuber. He's a VTuber that looks like Mr. Peanut.
I mean, I assume Sakura Miko is also a VTuber based
Yeah,
on
she's
an anime girl.
She's a normal VTuber. She's not a fucking peanut VTuber.
Well, I'm just gonna look at these
Kinda
5
world are
people
we
and
in?
click next.
What
Yeah.
world are we in?
And I'm gonna give my yearly best esports vote to Dota 2 in the vague hope that it ever actually wins, even though I'm one of
Nah.
5 people voting for it.
I hope Mobile Legends Bang Bang wins because that's the best name ever, and all
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
a copy of League of Legends.
That's
It's
100.
League of Legends as fuck.
Oh yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
shit.
I absolutely do want to just hear those words spoken at the award show.
exactly.
Hear Jeff Keighley say, and for best esports game, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Well done, Moonton.
Yeah. So good.
God, I'm so old I don't even recognize any of the esports people now other than the fighting game players.
Yeah, I don't at all. I never even heard those people's names other than Kakaru and Menardi.
I don't even know who the Counter-Strike guy is.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I know he holds his keyboard weird because that's in the picture, but I feel like everybody does that now.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Man, that's crazy. Fuck, I'm so out of touch.
Well, do you guys want to give any last shout outs for this wonderful year 2025 in the name of gaming before we close out?
Blueprints should have gotten nominated for more.
Bring a best puzzle game in next year and every year.
True.
And if you need to make room for it, demote fighting game award
Yeah.
out of existence.
Just
combine
them. Best fighting / puzzle game.
Just
They're kind of similar.
Put fighting games in the fucking action game category.
Just don't put them in.
Get rid of all the
There's
fucking.
not enough of them.
Get rid of best family. No one gives a shit about this esports stuff. Like, come on. Use Steam tags to guide these awards, in my opinion.
That's what the Steam Awards are for. Should we do one for the Steam Awards?
Actually,
that
that would
real?
not
Bonus
be a good idea
episode.
because best immersive sim would have like every game in existence.
Yeah, but you know the System Shock 2 remake's winning it, so or System Shock 1 rather.
Or what did we say was an immersive sim that we played earlier this year?
Everything.
So
Everything.
many.
Signalis, there was a joke about that.
Isn't there one that Ben
Uh,
liked? Was like it's like the best immersive sim I played.
Fuck, why don't I remember it? I'm sure that game does exist.
I can't remember because we've talked about it so much.
It'd probably be Baldur's
just
Gate
lost.
3, wouldn't it?
Was it? Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah.
I remember you making that comment about Tears of the Kingdom, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good immersive sim.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Add puzzle game. I think that's a travesty that there's not a puzzle game because there's so many puzzle games that come out.
Yeah, there's
So
so
many.
many good ones. Like I want to I think that it's an injustice that we don't live in a world where Mimic Logic was not nominated for something at TGA.
In Outer Wilds, my God.
Outer Wilds for sure.
Wait, was Outer
is
Wilds
actually-
not nominated for anything when it came out?
It might have been for indie game, maybe.
It had to have been, right?
I don't think it won anything though, did it?
What year did it come out?
2019?
That sounds right. It was nominated for indie game, debut indie game, and game direction. All
And won
things
nothing.
that it. I'm just gonna assume it won nothing, but
Yeah, it didn't win anything.
Yeah. That's fucking insanity to me.
What
Like,
was
I
it?
mean,
This
Disco Elysium won fresh indie game, so I'll
Yeah.
look that up, I
okay,
guess, but-
yeah. Good luck going up against that in anything.
I mean, it wasn't winning best game direction because it had to compete against Death Stranding too.
And what was debut indie game?
I don't think it had it.
There wasn't debut back then. Debut,
Oh.
I think, might be new to this year.
What? Fucking AI overview piece of shit.
Oh no, there was a debut. It was called Fresh Indie Game back then.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the one
I
was
assume
looking at,
Disco Elysium won that
Yeah,
as well.
Disco Elysium won, and
Wait.
that was also Slay the Spire was also
What-
nominated that year.
Damn.
What the fuck does fresh mean? Why is Baba Is You nominated for best indie game but not fresh indie game? What? What?
Good question.
Great question.
What the fuck is My Friend Pedro?
That's the banana.
It's a
game.
fucking banana.
Yeah, it's the banana game. What the hell?
There's
Wait,
a banana
not-
game and a goose game.
not like the banana game, like the crypto game.
Oh no. That's banana. That's not the banana game.
No, My Friend Pedro is like a banana game with like shooting, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of like John Woo style action.
yeah.
That just sounds silly.
I've never
It
played
is
it. I
silly.
just
That's
know
like the
that
point.
I just know that it was like viral way back
Yeah.
when.
Just like Goose Game. Well, ish.
All right, we're getting off topic here. 2025, good for games. When is TGA? December 13th? December 11th?
Something like
September
that.
11th?
Yeah.
Be there, be square. Expedition 33 is going to mop everything up and solidify its legacy as one of the greatest games ever made. The end.
And all of us will be 100% correct about every single one of our votes, even though we all
Hell
voted
yeah.
for different stuff. We'll all be correct because we said it.
GG.
That was our TGA episode. Next week, we'll be finally wrapping up our discussion for Unsighted. We'll see how that goes. Ha!
I'm
Bye!
excited for Unsighted.